mask off or mask on?
I don't think they're going to mind if they go mask off, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
Nobody here is wearing a mask. So,
Okie doke.
if they tell us to put it on, I'll say okay.
Yeah, we're streaming.
Greetings, sports fans. Charles Cohen and Isaac Moskowitz out here on this sunny Tuesday afternoon for baseball. Boy, this is going to be fun. Last game we did was a lot of fun, and this time, well, we've got Henry Chang on the mound, and we're set to go.
Absolutely. I love doing baseball. We've talked about it all week, how we're so excited for this game. And really since the last game, we were super excited to be back on the field. And it's a pleasure to bring this game to you folks. It's going to be a great one against Christian Heritage versus the Dragons in the Dragons Castle. So we'll be right on the call for that. Don't know much about Christian Heritage. I think GFA's played them in basketball, but other than that, I don't know what kind of baseball team this is. So this is a bit of a scouting opportunity for us as well as the actual team too.
Well, GFA having a nice season so far this year. They have a winning record, and they look to keep that intact, as this will be their second appearance on GSPN. Their first appearance almost were able to come back in that final seventh inning, but ended up not being able to get it done. Had some runners in scoring position, almost making it a bases-loaded opportunity from Mark Roskowski, but a fly ball ended that one.
Yep, absolutely. So what they're going to look on in this game is making sure that they make contact, first of all, but also just find a way to get people on base. And in those situations, just trying to find a way to get the hits. And that's obviously hard to do. It's the point of the game, one of the hardest parts of the game. But
yeah, absolutely.
You just got to find some strategy that you work with. And I think the biggest thing is not putting yourself in a hole too early, in which case you aren't able to get the hits because you're being too conservative with the pitches you swing at.
For sure. And one good thing to take away from that game is that the Dragons had a lot of contact. It didn't fall. Sometimes Absolutely. They don't fall. Sometimes they don't go exactly the way you want to do, but at least they found the ball on the bat, and that's definitely something you want to take away, even though it was a loss. But here we go, as opening batter will come out here, and we are ready to play ball. So we'll see this first pitch coming too high for ball one. You remember, Hernandez was pitching a great game until he plunked a batter in the second inning, and it sort of derailed his confidence a bit and his, what do you say, his command on his pitches, since he was so worried about not hitting the batter again or not being too low. I think he sort of got to his head a little bit.
Yeah,
but he was able to finish off the inning, which was good, and he stayed in the game and had a big hit.
Absolutely, and keeping him in the game was huge, and I think a great pitching decision. You see a strike there. Great coaching decision as well. And he really, like you said, after that hit by pitch, after he hit the batter, everything kind of went south from there. And so for pitchers, keeping that composure, even if you're not able to have the same command of the pitches as you'd like, and you just kind of falter that way, just maintaining your composure and making sure you stay focused on the task at hand and don't let that phase you, that's key. And in this game, it's going to be crucial as well.
As there is ball four, so he'll take his base. And the leadoff man's aboard with a walk. Now, some may say that that's a bad thing, but others may say, well, it opens up the opportunity for a big momentum-changing double play. Those people would be optimistic, but they're not wrong.
Right. I mean, you obviously would rather have an out there than a person on base, but it represents a good
low strike there.
That is a low strike.
But it is called. Umpire rules. No white strike box that they're going after. We don't have a white strike box on our broadcast. We would love to be able to put that on there, but there's not a lot of space with the angle that we get. As he's taking off for second, we'll see if they gun him. Oh, off the glove. He does stay, but the throw was in time, but just couldn't get it in his gloves. The batter takes second, or rather the runner takes second on the steal, but that pitch also called a ball, so the best case scenario for Christian Heritage.
Absolutely.
He throws that one, swing and a miss, strike two. He was in front of that one. Or no, are they calling that?
Call a strikeout?
No, I think they had the wrong call on the scoreboard. They did call that one a strike, and that was strike three, so that will be the first out of the inning. There it is. First out, strikeout for Henry Chang.
All right. Now they're getting into a little bit of a groove. Henry Chang he's hitting a stride, and now we'll see.
This one is popped up and foul. it is good when you have your pitcher to start hitting his stride. We'll see if he can ride this momentum. A few of his early pitches were down, but we'll see if he's able to pick himself back up. He certainly did with that batter, although there was a low strike called, but strike's a strike in this case, and he had some great pitches to make him look silly. As there's another strike, a nice pitch in there to get him frozen.
Absolutely.
Strike number
just
2.
Froze him in place, and now Chang can get, if he can get this batter out with the 3rd strike and strikes out at 2 in the inning, that's going to be a great momentum boost, and he's pitching high. Looks like he's trying to
he
control
pitched out. That was a pitch out. I think that was a pitch out. He thought he was stealing.
Ah, gotcha.
Because see, the way that the catcher reacted,
yeah, that would make sense.
looked like he was, he is really aware of that batter at second base. He doesn't want him to steal. He did steal from first to second, so
right.
He doesn't want him to get in scoring position here with only 1 away.
Absolutely, and if you see the batter on second base, he's taken quite a big lead, and there's also no one really. Buzzy's not that far.
And he does steal, so Chang had the right idea. This one is up. Will he catch it? He will. Batter has to tag. Look at that. The pitch out would have worked. He knew he was going to steal.
Absolutely.
That's some pitcher instinct right there, but it's the best case scenario. It was a pop-up, and he had the tag back, or else that would have been a big double play. And now we have a runner on second, but there's 2 away.
That was big, and he knew something we didn't. I mean, you were guessing it. I had no clue. And watching that batter, it makes sense as looking as how far Buzzy is from the bag.
And this one is in the dirt, and
it looked like it hit his foot.
I believe it did. So
it's gonna be runners
I think
at
that's
first and
honestly,
second.
although that's not the best thing you can hope for, it definitely isn't too bad as that runner does stay at second. Although you do have another runner popping up there. You have a runner at second instead of third, so a single might not score the runner per se, depending on where it is.
Right, if it's a shallow single into the gap, that may not score the runner.
As this one is too low for ball 1. Now, that pitch was called a strike on the other batter, but umpire doesn't budge here.
Looks like this batter might be a little bit shorter too, so the strike zone shrinks a little bit.
It does.
Maybe the umpire's compensating for the other call, knowing it was possibly
that one
too
is
low.
Too high.
Chang's pitching high here. It looks like he's trying to. I'm not sure. Maybe he just doesn't have that same control with the fastball, or is trying to catch him trying to bait him with a high fastball that they'll miss at, but. He's been able to have good control of it when they do swing. So
that pitch looked good, but it was just a little bit too high up around the shoulders.
Right.
Definitely something you could swing at if you were looking for it. That's a nice strike. And we'll see if that starts something as he pounded the zone with that fastball. Or no, it wasn't a fastball. It was an off-speed pitch. I think that's what was sort of froze him. Wasn't expecting it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a bit of a change-up there. Slows him up. Was expecting fastball, but got...
There's swing and a miss, strike 2, and now he has him in a full count, 3-2, and Chang could work out of the inning with 1 more pitch. This pitch is big right now.
This is big. This is really big. If he can get a strikeout here, do absolute wonders for his confidence. We see GFA pitchers, when they start to get on a roll, when they get that first strikeout, or the strikeout to end the first inning, they start to go on a roll, and then something happens that kind of deteriorates.
As he's stealing, no steal as he's walked. So no steal necessary, and his base is loaded with 2 away for Christian Heritage. And it's an early dream scenario, of course not with the 2 outs, but an early dream scenario with the bases loaded up here and a pitcher that has walked a few.
So yeah, this is a good scenario.
It hasn't been any hits. Yeah. It's been a walk
and
a hit by pitch, and another walk. As there's a strike. Doesn't agree with that call. Says it's too low, but umpire says it's a strike. And there has been 1 strikeout and 1 flyout as well.
Right.
So it wasn't been 1, 2, 3 with the walks, but no one has gotten a hit. That one is popped up and out of play, so we'll see. Chang is 1 more strike away from getting out of this sticky situation. And a strikeout here would definitely boost the confidence for next inning.
Oh, absolutely. Getting the strikeout, ending the inning, getting out of the jam, and the jam that they're in with 3 runners on base, and then setting his offense up well, setting up GFA's offense up well for the next.
At strike 3, got him frozen as the Christian Heritage strands the bases loaded, and the Dragons will now come up to see what they can do in the bottom of the first. Definitely not what Christian Heritage hasn't had in mind with not even swinging at that one
right.
for the third strike and leaving the bases loaded. You think you got to be a little bit more aggressive there. So, especially with 2 strikes on there, you don't want to watch ball. You don't want to watch strike 3 come. You want to swing and miss at that one. Give it your best shot.
And I think that was the problem that we saw GFA have, where they were looking. They got caught looking, and they struck out looking rather than strike out swinging with runners on base and 2 outs. I think they could have swung at that. I definitely agree with you. They should have swung at that, even.
Unless it looked awful, but it obviously didn't look awful because it was called a strike and it was there.
Right, it was right there, and it was a pretty good fastball too. So they could have swung at that, and I think if they got solid contact, that could have been a hit, and that could have drove a runner home, maybe 2, depending on where it was.
Could have, depending on what it was. But I would have liked to see some contact on that ball. They're not able to get it. Now we'll see what the Dragons can do to respond here in the bottom of the first. So leading off the inning will be Jason Hernandez, and he definitely has the hitting skills to be a leadoff man for sure.
Absolutely. He's hard-hitting, heavy-hitting junior, can pitch, can play in the infield, really can do it all. And he's a fantastic choice to lead off, and really, the classic leadoff guy, and top of the order, can hit well, but it can also has a good eye and can draw the walks and just get the offense started right out of the gate. And he's a fantastic choice for leading off. And next you got Keavney, another slugger who packs a punch in his hits. He can really knock that one far.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Keavney was the leadoff man of our first game.
I think it might have been Hernandez. It was one of the two. I think they were both 1 and 2. I can't remember exactly who led off. It might have been.
I know he was high up there.
He was
high
up
also.
There.
Next batter, Mark Roskowski rose up though. He was, I'm pretty sure, the 5th batter. He was batter number 5. He's batting 3rd now.
So yeah, rising up in the ranks, and I think the coaching decision was if you're gonna use him, he's definitely a slugger on the team, and he can. We saw how far he can hit.
Oh, he can absolutely hit absolute bombs. And look, the coaching staff wants him to hit a little bit more, and this is the way you do it.
Exactly.
Here's the first pitch of this inning is what looked like a strike, but called the ball. Looks like it was a little bit too outside.
That's exactly why you want Jason leading off, Hernandez leading off. He has a very good eye, and he's not going to take a pitch.
That's a low strike. I don't like that call either.
I think he swung. He tried to check the swing, but I think he broke the plane. That's really the only explanation I see. That was way too low to be a strike.
There's a launch. Is it then a drop in the gap? It is. And this will be extra bases for Hernandez as he's rounding second, heading for third for a leadoff triple, and he's in there. So a leadoff triple for Jason Hernandez as he gets the fist bump there from the third baseman. That's nice sportsmanship by number 20 for Christian Heritage. I like to see that.
Absolutely. Love to see it. I love to see it in MLB when you have like 2 friends on, or even just teammates, just people who know each other, and you get on base and they give you a fist bump. It's like, it's good sportsmanship. They recognizes game, and they recognize that he made a good play, and they compliment him on it.
Well, this is exactly what the Dragons wanted, especially after they weren't able to put up a big inning in the second game. That was a big-time play by Jason Hernandez to get to third base as the leadoff man, sets his team up for massive success right off the bat as Keavney comes on, and he definitely has the hitting potential to bring Hernandez home and then some. As he will swing and put this one in. He will score Hernandez, and Keavney will stop at first base. And the Dragons strike first within the first 2 batters. They have the first run of the game. And this is what I think they wanted to rev up in the last inning of the game that we called.
Absolutely, yeah. They wanted to get those bats flying, and they wanted to get them flying early, and they wanted people to swing at balls that they thought they could hit. And obviously, if the ball looks awful, if the pitch looks awful, don't swing at it. But take some chances.
Oh, that one, did that hit him in the head?
That sounds like it did.
Or did it hit in the bat? Bat.
Bat.
A little bit high, but off the bat, yeah, sounded like a bat.
Yeah.
as the manager goes ahead and says that's off the bat. So that will be strike one because it did hit the bat. So that's a foul tip. Scary play up high, though. It was very close to his head. And Keaveney's stealing, and he's plunked. So Roskowski is hit. He'll take first base. As everybody's reached base so far, and up steps the catcher, Ben Eisenstein. Eisenstein in the last game, or the last game that we covered, had one ball that we really thought could have been a tide turner that went right by him for a strike three looking. What we were talking about in the first inning. We'll see if this game he can do a lot more. When he swings the ball, it can go a very long way. That's why it was so disappointing to see that ball go by him. Because when he does take a hack, it can go a mile.
Yeah, exactly. He has the hitting potential to really knock it out. And when we saw that ball go by him, you just kind of sit back and you put your hands up and you're like, come on, like this is your opportunity. And, you at that point, you kind of just have to shake your head and work on it on practice, figure out why you didn't swing at that and try to be a little more aggressive or calculated aggressive in the balls that you swing at. But looks like here, GFA has no problem.
Keaveney is going to get stuck in a rundown, and he is out trying to steal third. And that is a big time out as they take away the second base runner. That leaves Roskowski on first, so they're not completely out of base runners, but that was a big out because that's the first out of the inning. And a ground ball here could be the end of the inning and only one run damage. But there is, they haven't put the count up on the board as this one will go as strike. I believe that's strike two.
Yeah.
And both of them not swinging.
So we'll see if Eisenstein's going to try to swing at this one. And I think the pitcher knows that, so he might want to try a ball down and out.
As Roskowski, as that is strike three, and Roskowski's going to make it. And he's not going to go to third, and wisely so, but he slides in there. Eisenstein caught looking on 3 straight strikes. But Roskowski moves to second, so not all is lost as up steps the hard-hitting Trace Florio.
In the last game that I did, he had a triple, and it was from way, way deep. The left fielder went back at the track, or the metaphorical track. We don't really have a track back there.
Yeah, we kind of do. You can say.
Right,
if you're right around the wall, that's the track.
Exactly.
Let's just call it that.
Back at the track, and the ball just drops right before it goes out, and he is able to make a triple, and then he's brought home, I think, by a single.
There's a swing and a miss.
In the last game he did, and that was GFA's only run against Brunswick. So he's definitely a hard-hitting player, and when he sees a ball he likes, watch out. He's going to try to swing at it.
GFA getting very aggressive on the base pass. So was Christian Heritage. I think it's... there's a great pitch.
That's a
throws him
pitch.
For strike number 2. And the count now is 1-2. Right now, Christian Heritage is looking like they're in pretty good shape with just getting out of this inning with 1 run. As this is in there, foul tip, and that can't feel good as that popped them up and almost hit him in the coconuts.
Yep, can't imagine that would feel good. Kind of catching his breath too. Almost hit him there, not quite.
That one not going to affect the count here. Stays at 1-2. Florio is able to put that one away to stay alive. As here's the kick in the deal, and this one will be very close to looking like a strike, but it will be ball 2, and good eye there by Florio. Make this count now 2-2. There's the pitch, and that one is outside for ball 3. So Florio works this count full, making the pitcher work for this out, and we'll see if maybe he can get on base with a walk.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to try to extend this inning, possibly with a walk, but he could get it with a hit, obviously. I don't know what the strategy would be here. It looks like in warm-ups the pitcher didn't really have that much command.
That is ball 4.
And he goes with the ball. I think that was a smart strategy. Just extend the inning, try to get as many runners on base as possible, instead of trying to force too much.
So up steps designated hitter, number 38, Michael Jamelio. It's the junior's first appearance on a GSPN broadcast. And we'll see if he can make the most of it. Definitely has the opportunity to do so, as there is an inside ball for ball 1. And we'll see if this pitcher can settle down a little bit. He had him on the ropes, but just couldn't finish him off.
Right, and we've seen that too often on games, how pitchers, they are doing well and...
Oh, I don't like that. That almost looks like a balk. Stepping off this and swirling around. It looked like he was in his pitching motion and just swirled back. I'd call that a balk.
Yeah.
The umpire says no, as this one is foul tipped away for strike number 1. Made contact, though, and you can see he's looking to try to get all of it and put one right in the gap where Hernandez did to try to drive home 2 runs.
Absolutely. Looks like there's a shift to the right, so if he can hit it in the left field gap...
There is a big gap there, too.
You could probably drive home Roskowski.
That is a strike right down Main Street for strike number 2.
Fastball right down Main Street, and wondering if Jamilio would want to swing at that, but can't really dwell on that. He's got to watch out for this next pitch.
Here's the kick and the deal, and strike 3 got him. And that will end the inning. But not before the Dragons strike first on a big triple by Jason Hernandez. And a nice base hit by Keaveney to drive him home.
Absolutely.
And you got to think what would have been if they didn't attempt to get a little bit too stingy and steal that base in the first inning. Although it's a risky play and risks do pay off, but you have to wonder what would happen if they had one more out on the board with Keaveney out there.
Yeah, that might have been a 2-0 game. I think it probably would have been. GFA didn't really have any more hits after that, but they did walk Roskowski on a hit by pitch. And I think they walked, take a look actually. And then Florio also walked. So that probably would be, it's probably be a 2-0 game if Keaveney didn't try to steal third.
Possibly. Depending on some extra situations, maybe some more pressure on the pitcher, that type of stuff. But look, I think they'll take their 1 run, and well, remember, this is exactly how the Dragons started their last game that we covered, which was almost giving up a big hit, having runners in scoring position. Of course, not 2 runners and not bases loaded, but having a runner in scoring position and being able to work out of it, and then going ahead and getting 2 solid hits, bringing home a runner after a steal. And we'll see if this game will go the opposite direction of the last one, and we'll see if they can continue, because they looked like they were good with the bats at early, and that's what they're looking like right now.
Absolutely.
But we'll see if that'll keep up the rest of the game, or if this will be a one-hit wonder in terms of type of inning, just like the last game was.
Right. I think that looking at the way they're hitting now, they look a little bit more aggressive than what we saw last game.
They do. They look like they're swinging on a lot of balls. This also could be that this pitcher pitches with a little bit less velocity.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. Certainly it's a combination of both, but that bodes well for GFA, because one of the reasons why they ended up losing that game was just because they couldn't get the bats flying. They could not. They
almost in the last inning. Almost looked like they were putting together something.
Yeah,
but there is swing and a miss, strike 2. Got him to swing at 2, and they got him out in front of both of them.
Chang's locked in now, making sure that
one is popped up, and it will be a souvenir for a lucky fan. And it's into the squash courts, or the tennis courts, rather. Good thing no one's playing tennis. That would be a lovely surprise during your tennis match.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in the serving motion, and then just get clocked by the ball.
There's ball 1. Chang kicks and deals outside. The count is now even at 2-2. And this batter's worked the count pretty nicely, not overextending on some balls. As here's this pitch coming, and swing and a miss, and he got him and made him look silly. Boy, swinging at a really high ball that he had no business swinging at, and there's your first out.
I think he got a little bit too excited.
That is an ugly swing.
Out. I watched it, and internally I was just like, ooh. But I think Chang got in his head where he had a good eye and laid off 2 balls that were very good, and then wanted to swing at that and was going to swing no matter what.
I think he made his mind up that he was going to swing at that no matter what it was. even before the pitch came.
Right.
I mean, it's a extremely aggressive mentality, but when it works, it does work. As there is some big contact and right over the glove of Hernandez. So the first hit for Christian Heritage will be so close to being caught, but it will be a bloop single, and they will have a runner at first, and they've got to be careful and watch the steal.
Yeah, now Chang's got to be careful and watch that runner on first because almost said Sacred Heart. Christian Heritage, definitely the mentality is if they're on base, they're not afraid to steal. And so good job checking him there and making sure doesn't have any ideas so far.
First pickoff attempt of the game. We'll see if we'll see a little bit more of those.
I bet we will, just because of the way Christian Heritage
He checks again, and he says he's safe. But Chang is, unlike Raskowski and Hernandez, extremely aware of the base runner.
Right.
He's got that sixth sense. As he does not try, as he pitches out, he thinks he's going to steal. Well, look,
smart play.
He did that against the last batter. He ended up stealing. So we'll just call it Henry Chang's spidey sense. And it's tingling right now. So we'll see if he gets this one right. And he will swing, pop this one up and out of play. That'll be strike number 2.
So
at least I think.
It might be, I think it's 1-1.
It may be 1-1. Which is why a pitch out in that situation is not that big of a deal when you waste the pitch to try to get the runner at second.
Especially with the way
that would be a big time play.
Christian Heritage
tries back, almost a wild throw, but is able to get it back. Yeah, he does not want that batter to take second base.
Absolutely
but
not.
Here's the problem is that nobody's on second covering for the steal. Oh man, another ugly swing.
Ooh.
That's strike number 2, and he went way down low. I mean, I've seen Alfonso Soriano hit that type of ball, but not when it's that low.
Yeah, when it's that low,
He almost was scraping the dirt with the bat.
Yeah.
As there is another pitch too high. This count will be even now at 2-2. But yeah, nobody is covering second base, even if he was trying to steal. And when you're trying to pitch out, it's tough. As there is another ball, so the batter now works this count to full. It's 3-2.
It's interesting that GFA doesn't have someone at second. You have Buzzy, who's pretty far, and Hernandez, who isn't really near there either.
Well, Hernandez could get there if he went ahead and sped up, but it'd be a tough play.
It'd be a challenge. It'd be a lot more challenging than...
As that is strike 3, got him looking, and a great pitch there by Chang to punch him out. And he's punching out lots of people today.
Absolutely. He's
got that
locked
strikeout
in.
working.
He's locked in both in the pitch zone and the strike zone, exactly where he wants to put it, and with the batters on base. And he's just all locked in, very focused on the game, and we'll see if that pitch continues. And that's a nice curveball for a strike. And right now he's got the Christian Heritage players on the ropes a little bit.
The kick and deal. That one will be put on the ground and almost will be picked up by Buzzy, and he says he's safe. He beat out the play, and the shift not working there. And that's an infield hit. Kind of a bloop play.
Yeah, just kind of went
Not
through
great
the
contact,
runner's
but
legs. And
yeah, the problem was it wasn't really a great contact on that ball, but it was the shift and the positioning by the defense that allowed that base hit. They're looking for something else, and they didn't get it.
Absolutely, and now you have 2 runners on base with two outs.
With 2 outs.
Sacrifice fly not in effect, but still, you don't want to give up any wild pitch that could cause them to steal third.
Exactly. Now that is swing and a miss, strike 1, and Chang is making them swing and miss often. He's getting them out in front. Now, that's a good thing for right now, but if they recognize that all of their swing and misses have been when they're out in front and not behind, they'll start... Oh, he calls that a strike.
Ooh.
And number 3 is not very happy about that one as he tried to move out of the way, but umpire says that's a strike anyway. You're not fooling me. And we'll see if he can hit 3 straight strikes that end this batter. This one is popped up, and it's going to be caught by Hernandez. The inning is over. No runs scored. And another great inning by Chang.
Absolutely. Great inning by Chang and no runs scored. 2 runners on base, but that no harm, no foul because 0-0 is a zeros on the scoreboard for Christian Heritage. And Chang pitching really well. And he's, like you said, he's getting batters out front. All the swing and misses have been out front. And for now, it's working beautifully. But we'll see how Christian Heritage's strategy changes as the game goes along, as the game progresses, because they're going to start to see that that's the way they're missing, and that's how they're getting beat by Chang. And so we'll see how they're going to counteract that. Maybe they'll start to lean back on the ball and wait for it to kind of come to them, or maybe wait for it to go out instead as sort of a breaking ball situation. But we'll see how they're going to try to react. But so far, Chang's had them on the ropes, and it's working very well for his defense.
And we'll see if his offense can get him a little bit more runs to work with, as the first batter of this inning will be Ryan Buzzy. Now, I don't know if Buzzy played in the game that you did solo, but he did not play in the first game.
He did not play in the
although he was
game
brought on as a pinch runner.
Yeah.
So if he didn't play in the other game either, this will be his debut on a GSPN broadcast as a hitter.
Yeah, I think they might have brought him in as a runner towards the end.
He did
in
the final innings,
yeah.
And then he went ahead and he sat out and he played in the outfield. He's playing in the infield today, second base. And we'll have the opportunity to go ahead and hit leadoff for this inning. We'll see what he's got in the batter's box. And GFA has to feel really good in the batter's box after that last inning. Some great contact, nice triple to go ahead and lead off the game. Hernandez says, "Hey guys, you can solve this guy." No puzzle deciphering here.
Exactly.
Went ahead and got him on the leadoff triple. Doesn't get too much better than that, other than a leadoff home run. But you can say, "Well, leadoff home run, that's that's a fluke." You know what I mean? That's a bad pitch, but a triple is something that had good contact. And that's right where you want it to be, and went ahead and dropped in the gap.
Right. I think a leadoff triple signifies good hitting more than a bad pitch. And because a leadoff home run, those are exceedingly rare. And when you do see it happen, you kind of go, "Oh, it's probably a pitch he didn't like, came off his fingers wrong, yada yada yada."
Exactly.
And especially if he strikes out the rest, or if the rest are just pop outs and fly outs, then you understand that they're hitting a bit well, they're hitting well, but the pitcher has just lost command of that one pitch. But a triple, you have to have good contact, and that's usually one in which the pitch is good, and you have good contact, good enough to have it drop in the gap somewhere, drop far, and you're able to make it on to third base.
First pitch was a strike. Second one's a ball. Let's count even at 1-1 as we go ahead and take this third pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Buzzy wanted that one back. You could see he gripped his bat a little bit tight. He was like, I just missed it.
Absolutely.
Let's see if he can go ahead and get it here. If this one's going to be a ball to try to get him to chase. As the kick and deal coming. Too high. Ball 2. Evens this one up at 2-2. Now the kick and the deal, and thought about swinging, but didn't, and wisely so. Works this count to full.
That was a very good take by Buzzy. Good breaking ball. Didn't have a lot of velocity.
Braked a little bit too much, though.
I think so.
As there's a fastball, if I've ever seen one. Blew it right by him for the first out. Not much you can do with that heater. That was, wow.
No,
can't expect that.
Not much you can do at all.
That's the fastest ball he's thrown all day, too. I don't know where that came from.
Absolutely. Sometimes when you're a pitcher, you just kind of find that pitch in the middle of the game.
As that's a pass ball. Would be dangerous if Buzzy reached on a walk on that full count, but, well, it's just the ball here. And Allie Hood will go ahead and get a front in the count. It's 1-0. It is a nice hot afternoon. Good day for baseball.
Oh, absolutely. Feels like one of those warm summer days. A bit of a breeze, too, so it's nice for us and all the fans out here.
The breeze is very, very nice, I have to say. The breeze is very nice.
Yeah, it feels like you're just at a baseball park in a lazy Sunday afternoon in the summer, maybe in July, and you're just enjoying a baseball game.
See, I only wish it was Friday, though.
That would
make it great.
Absolutely.
As there is contact, but a foul ball. And this count will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we'll see what this pitcher goes ahead and does. Ahead now 1-2. Throws a fastball, but just a little bit too high, 2-2. And his fastball has gotten a little bit faster since the first inning.
Yeah, it looks like
it. There's plunks him, and that cannot feel good.
Ow.
That's the second batter that he's hit today. There have been batters hit on both sides, but I'd say Chang's not really intentional. Hit him in the foot.
Right, that was...
And I don't think these are intentional either, but it's just a pitch that got away from him, and he hit both. Now he's hit Hood and Roskowski in the same place on the same pitch.
Yeah,
it seems to be getting away from him here, and we'll see if it has the same effect on him as it has had on Jason Hernandez that last game I broadcasted with you. And I know I'm going to make that comparison since it's really the only thing I have to compare to.
Right.
But
it really
I hate to sound redundant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I got to go back on.
And really hate to kind of emphasize that over and over again, but it is a good comparison point. How after that things started to get hairy for GFA's defense and GFA's pitching, but we'll see if it has the same effect. Obviously not there, as he got Coachella swinging for a 1-0 count in favor of the pitcher.
It was swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs, so a fly ball doesn't help much. Tried to bunt?
Interesting choice.
I don't know. It confuses me. That's the second strike. I would have liked to see him either take that or go ahead and swing for it. I'm not sure what a bunt. A bunt just sort of seems like it's an automatic out at first.
Right, I think so.
I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of strategy. That surprised me. As this one's in the dirt. And Hood's able to take second as he runs into the shortstop. So now no force at second base. Eliminates one of the options if it does go on the ground. And your count is 1-2. So Coachella not out of the hole yet. Good pitch. Ooh, look at that. Man, was inside and fast. Got a good take. A little bit too close for comfort, though, as this one will go 2-2. Man, I'd hate to see a ball that fast flying by my face. That would be...
that'd be a bit scary.
Yeah, that would be... I think scary would be an understatement. It's flying at your head. As there's swing and a miss, strike 3, and a ball that was just a little bit too high. Oh, is that not going to end the inning? They have the...
It was only Buzzy.
Oh, they have the scoreboard wrong. Well, here comes Hernandez, and the Dragons are they weren't in bad shape. Not in bad shape anymore after they didn't strand someone yet, and up steps Hernandez, who had that big leadoff triple. And let's see if he's out to do some more damage and maybe to bring a runner home on a base hit. Definitely could if it falls.
Absolutely,
and runner goes on anything too. There's a nice pitch. Strike 1. Runner does go on anything.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter if it's an error in the outfield or if it goes down. He's going, and he's going to try to chug home. There's another pitch. This one's rocketed back. It will fall. And now Hood is going to score. Hernandez staying at first. Nice job to stay at first. 2 for 2. Jason Hernandez with an RBI, a triple, and a single. He's having himself a day right now.
On 2 at-bats, too.
And a run scored, too.
Yeah,
don't forget about the first run scored.
RBI, triple, single, 2 at-bats.
He's
having a day.
Nice. Really having a good time in the batter's box right now. So he now steps on first. We'll see. Have to be careful about the potential steal. And we'll see. The Dragons now take a 2-0 lead. And Hernandez thought about going but didn't. Made it look like he was.
And Hernandez got some speed.
He does have the speed.
Seven has to be careful.
But I don't want to risk. You don't want to risk it.
Right, especially with 2 outs. I don't think he's going to.
Two-way and Keepney up, and Keepney can definitely slash. As there he goes in the dirt. It's the dropped pitch, and Hernandez stands up. He does get the steal. See, when you watch enough batters on the base path, you can tell just from afar, but it's tough for the pitcher because you really don't know, and one error could mean a free base.
Exactly.
Or more.
So it's really hard for the pitcher. You have to kind of measure yourself, like, do I want to try for this one, or do I want to see if
this one is passed, and Hernandez will make it to third. So now we'll take a single to bring him back.
Triple.
So a stolen base and then a passed ball. This puts Keavney now out in front of the count in 2-1, and Hernandez at third. And the Dragons are in good shape as long as a base hit is made. The ball is put in play. This one is swung on and missed, so the count will now even out at 2-2.
Keavney's got to make sure that in order to hit this one, he doesn't try too much. Just look at the pitches he likes, see what they give him, and swing it he likes and don't swing it he doesn't like.
That one is too high. Your count is full. And we'll see if this pitcher goes back to the fastball. I think he's going to. That's what he does in these situations, and he does. Swing and a miss. And he was behind it. But again, the Dragons go ahead. They put one run up on the board. And a great base hit by who else but Jason Hernandez.
Absolutely.
He got
He's
that big triple too.
Having a day-to-day against this pitcher, and really, pitcher can't figure him out. And on two bats, as we've said, on two at-bats, he has an RBI, a run scored, a triple, and a single. And he stole two bases on this last one. So he's having a monstrous game so far, and it's only the third inning.
Yeah, it's just the top of the third inning,
top of
too.
the third, just beginning the third inning, and he's already having a monstrous game.
So if he gets a home run, which would be, I think I'd probably lose my mind if I saw a home run on a GSBN broadcast.
Absolutely.
But if he gets a home run, he's a double away from the cycle. Just want to put that out there. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Already, too.
In the third inning.
Yeah, already.
But that triple was so big because it's tough to get a triple.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, you want to get the home run because that's the hardest out of all of them, really.
Right.
But to be honest with you, I'd also argue that getting a triple is harder than getting a home run because the circumstances have to be perfect for you to get a triple.
Right.
It has to be in the gap. You have to put it in the perfect location, and you have to just be legging it out to try to get third. Most of the time when people are trying to get that triple, they stretch it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes they lose the potential of staying on base.
Right.
But we'll see. Do I think there's going to be a home run? No. But we can always hope.
We can always hope. I'm not going to say never, but home runs are definitely hard. And if you look at the outfield, how far the wall is.
Yeah, it's very. It's
a
a long way.
outfield.
Now we've seen balls fly very close to going out.
Right.
But, but so far, nothing really from either team. Most of the balls have been sort of in the middle of the outfield, towards the edge. But furthest ball we saw was Roskowski's ball that rolled all the way to the wall, and he only got correct me if I'm wrong, he only got a double out of that. That is, oh man, went ahead and pulled up and swung on it. That'll be strike number 2, and Chang gets ahead 0-2. Yeah,
for a second I thought he was hit by the pitch.
Yeah, no, it went off the bat. Maybe he was hit too, but he did go around. It did knock off the metal of the bat, and he was not very happy that he didn't hold up there, as the 0-2 pitch will be swung on and tipped backwards. So we'll see what this 0-2 pitch would go. He went ahead and fouled that one off to stay alive as the kick and the deal. Couldn't get that one to fall. Looks like some action in the Christian Heritage bullpen as the reliever comes up to go. Don't see any action for Greens Farms, but then again, it's covered by that green fence. This one is popped up. Will this be playable for Eisenstein? No, as it goes out of play.
Just out of play. Did not miss the fence by much.
Did not. No, it did not. Very close.
The pitcher stays alive even though he's down in the count 0-2. So I wonder what Chang's going to do here. Might he had a good curveball, even though it was out. Had some good spin on it.
As this one is rocketed back, will it be playable for Roskowski? It goes over his head. It's rolling all the way back. Will he be able to leg out a triple? It looks like he's going for third. This ball coming in too high. Nice job by Chang to be there and not let that ball go by, but a big triple. Went ahead and knocked that one a long way and sets his team up pretty good here now with a runner on third base and no one out. It was a nice hit.
That was a very, very nice hit.
Their best contact of the game, I think the best contact of the game so far, being that one. That one went a very long way, although it did roll the long way. It did go.
Absolutely, and it's a triple, and like we said, 2 triples in the game, and how hard it is to hit a triple. Things just have to kind of go right, and for 15, things went right. Roskowski was unable to hit it, just passed him and started to roll before he was able to get it, and he had the speed and to be able to get to the base.
As this one is knocked and falls down, so back-to-back hits into the outfield. They'll cut this lead in half, and they'll get their first run of the game with now a runner on first and still nobody away.
That's a bit of a jam for GFA. Runner on first, 1 run for Christian Heritage, and no runners away. That's the big one.
That is the big one, although there is a runner on first. Got to be aware of the double play and the steal, as this one is up too high, and he's waiting for that steal, but he didn't go ahead and take it. They'll start this at-bat out with the ball.
And it makes you wonder, too, what would happen if Keaveney didn't try to steal third there? Could it be a bit more now? Now that GFA has had 2 runs, after Hernandez drove home on a run from Ali Hood in the second.
And that was another one of those pieces of hitting where you go, wow, where did that come from? As now there's the steal. It's in the dirt, and no play will be made. So we will take second base. Double play opportunity is over, at least the conventional double play. But I think that hit from Hernandez really goes to show that in baseball, anything can happen, and any type of scoring run can come from anywhere, as this pitch is too high. Thought he would be taking third, but now he's way behind in the count. Our scorecard is flying everywhere. I apologize. The audio is this one just a little bit too low. Count now at
looks like he
4,
walked.
So he did go ahead and walk on ball 4. We got runners on first and second, still nobody out. And here we go. We'll see if Chang can work out of this jam. No mound visit by the catcher to slow him down. I would like to see that. As there is a play, we'll see. Gets the runner at second, and this one's away. He threw it away, and the runner will score, tie this game up on what could have been a double play, but that throw way off the bag, and the runner will reach second. Oh, man, when you think you're going to get out of the jam and potentially avoid a run, you go out on a pass ball.
Yeah, that's just a missed opportunity for GFA, and just missed it too. I think the syndrome of just trying to do too much. They wouldn't have scored the run if they didn't get the runner out at first, and they would have had 1 out too. So they're able to get one of the outs, but
that's tough. And when you kick it right back to the pitcher, you think it's double play every time, but no. As there's a nice strike. The good news is they did get the out, and there's less runners to worry about. But the bad news is the game is tied just like that. And he swings and puts this one foul. And the players in the dugout are very happy that a fence exists. And so were we in the first game, as the first pitch, if you remember, went right where we were sitting if we didn't listen to the security crew and didn't move.
Yep, we would probably not be broadcasting this game right now.
That is an ugly swing if I've ever seen one. I don't know, look, chasing butterflies out in the outfield. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Or no, I think that was strike 3. So, yeah, that's not the way you want to go down.
Absolutely not. And we've seen a bunch of those, how when they're able to get hits off of Chang, they've been able to get those hits really well and then drive them into the outfield. But when they're trying to swing at things that just aren't there, ooh, it's an ugly out.
I just, I don't know what they're swinging at. It's so high. It's like they're button mashing in a video game. I mean, I'm guilty of button mashing in MLB The Show for sure. I'm very bad at that game.
It's a hard game. I've tried playing it and it just doesn't work. I'm not very good at the game.
I like the pitching. I can't do the PCI, all that stuff. I don't know. I don't get how that works. But I think I'm better at that than real baseball. I think I can say that confidently.
I would 100% say that about myself too.
That is strike number 2. And he is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. We'll see if he can do just that. There's the pitch and
strikeout.
Strike 3. Throws him again. Another big strikeout for Chang, but Christian Heritage went ahead and tied this ball game up with a few big hits. But it is tied, so they didn't take the lead. GFA has the chance to now respond, but 2 runs put up in that big inning. There were a lot of big hits. And it looked like it could have been a very long outing, especially after that throw. That throw really would have made a big difference with keeping this one at a huge 1-run difference. That's a tough play.
Absolutely. It's a tough play to just not be able to finish up on. And now it's a tie ball game, 2-2. And GFA's, their bats have been flying, so it's not a catastrophe where it's tied and you have no answer on offense. But definitely not the position that they wanted to be in. And I think it was a largely preventable situation if they were able to get that pass ball where they were able to catch the pass ball. But they can't hang their head on it. They got to make sure that they're ready for this next series. And you got Roskowski up, so that's definitely a morale booster in the dugout. Roskowski, Eisenstein, and Florio at the very least. And so definitely
and
part of the lineup.
Was making some nice contact, too, as the number 4 batter in this inning. In terms of the order, he wasn't able to find it straight, but it's looking like he was finding the ball. There is a pitcher change, so number 7 will come out. He will play shortstop. Number 3, the shortstop, will go ahead and be a pitcher. They're doing the same thing they did with Hernandez and Roskowski that first game we broadcast. I think that's awesome. It's such a great strategy.
I think so too.
And it works a lot because you keep a player who can hit, can go ahead and make good plays. You keep them in the game. It's good. It's a nice way of letting your player know that, hey, this is not because you pitched bad. It's because we just need to bring someone else in. You're still going to stay in the game. Don't worry. You can still make good plays for us.
Right.
And, nothing to hang your head on. It's not something where, oh, dang it, I need to wait till the next game to go ahead and make an impact. Well, you can make an impact immediately. Go ahead and it's giving you more shots to go ahead and make some plays. So
absolutely,
definitely good for the the mental state of your players. Nothing that to let them know that they didn't do anything wrong, basically.
Right. Yeah, you're just changing your strategy up with pitching and defensively, and I think that's a good way to put it. It's not a morale decreaser where you're like, oh shoot, I messed up. Where you're actually just being put in another position, and you still have an opportunity to make a good play in the game and good defensive play or offensive play, and we'll see if he's able to do that here. And we'll see how this pitcher fares against GFA's batters and compares to number 7, who was pitching for Christian Heritage. Looking at him right now, I think he has a similar velocity, and it's a slower velocity, but he has an interesting pitch windup.
He does have an interesting pitch windup. It's the same thing that we talked about with the closer in the Hamden Hall game, where and that closer was not doing too well. Definitely a slower pitcher than normal, but that pitching mechanic slowed him down. I see something similar here. Again, I don't want to speak too soon because it is a different pitcher and a whole different practice schedule and everything like that, but the pitching motion doesn't seem as natural as you'd want it to be. It's kind of slow with the pullback.
Yeah, and then the velocity coming off of it is pretty slow, and we'll see if he's able to compensate with a good placement on the curveball or the changeup. But I don't know. GFA has been able to hit those slow velocity pitches. I think fastballs down the center have given them quite a bit of trouble because they just haven't been able to make the same kind of contact on it. So we'll see how Roskowski's going to fare with this one, and we'll see if number 3 is going to even try the fastball at all, because if the fastball's not fast enough, it's just a straight beeline pitch to exactly where Roskowski wants it, and that could spell trouble for Christian Heritage.
Good. The first pitch is ball 1. And we'll see as the Junkyard Dog's in the batter's box, and he's looking to try to get something back for his team as there's ball 2. Kicks and deals. This one is hit. Popped up in the infield. Trying to track it, and he does. So a pop-up out will start the inning. Almost lost that one in the sun. It is very sunny out. And he does have the, looks like he has the sunglasses possibly, but.
Yeah, that's not an easy pitch to track, especially if it was in the sun, hard to see. It's not hard to drop that one and cause an error in which Roskowski gets on base, but as it stands, he gets the out. And
as this one is popped up again, just getting 2 under it, and he's able to put it away. So 2 straight outs by guess who we were just talking about could make an impact on defense, number 7, the pitcher who was taken out. So
absolutely
goes ahead and catches the 2 fly balls, and
it makes me wonder if he was originally an outfield or an infielder.
Yeah, you know, they play all around.
Yeah, they
just
play,
like Roskowski plays in the outfield. And he goes ahead and pitches. So up steps Trace Florio as there's a high strike, but strike all the same. It doesn't look like this pitching motion is affecting this pitcher all too much, but he is getting some contact. No one's getting solid contact, getting a little bit too under it. As this pitch now coming, faster motion there, but this one's in the dirt, I think probably because he sped up his motion. Not used to doing that.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll see if he goes right back to the slower motion with possibly with a curveball here.
As this one is popped up and out of play. Pops back. Takes the timeout. So that would be 2 balls and 2 strikes here for Florio. He tries to avoid a 1-2-3 inning, but this would be a 1-2-3 inning if he makes contact and gets out. 1-2-3 inning with contacts on all 3 times. As this is a rocket into the gap, it will be, or into the gap of the infield rather, it will be a single for Florio, so no 1-2-3 inning.
And Florio's kind of emerged for GFA as a really hard hitting and he can place those balls well when he's able to make contact player. And in the game that I broadcasted, he had a triple in the later half of the game, and that's what it drove home GFA's 1 run. So he definitely has the ability to hit, and we see it there. He's able to get on base and extend this inning. And now we're getting into the later half of the lineup with Jamelio.
Jamelio can make contact.
Absolutely, he's a designated hitter.
Florio does have enough speed to go and depending on how deep, if the ball goes, he can. As there he goes, he's taking off, and he pitched out, not in time. So he's safe, and now a single could definitely score Florio. And with 2 away, you're running on everything, and that was a ball up as we're going to have a mound visit. And I think it's a good time
strategy
for a mound visit too.
Absolutely, I think that's a very good strategy. GFA, Christian Heritage will definitely want to be able to make sure they're all on the same page on what they want to do with this, with 2 outs in the third, bottom of the third, and with a runner on second, runner in scoring position with Jamelio, who can absolutely hit. And so we'll see exactly what they're going to try to do here. Not entirely sure exactly what pitch he's going to try to throw, but I don't think he's going to try to use the velocity when he doesn't have it, because when he tries to speed up his pitching motion, it's out and he doesn't have the same control. So I'd expect maybe some more low balls, curve balls, something with a little less velocity. We'll see if Jamelio can catch up.
As that is ball number 2. Jamelio ahead of the count, 2-0. This one taken for strike number 1, so he does get that strike zone. A little bit of a change up there, kind of frozen. And I think that at that point, I don't disagree with that take. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't disagree either.
When you're ahead of the count by that much, as there's ball number 3, and it's in the dirt, but Florio not going. But yeah, I think that take's fine, because you think about it, if it's another ball, right, and if it curves away, then you're ahead 3-0. That gives you a nice green light. If not, well, you're still ahead. As this one is ball 4, so Jamilio will walk, and now the Dragons have 2 on but 2 out. And up will step Ryan Buzzy, who made that errant throw last inning that went ahead and brought home a run. We'll see if he can get a few back here. If he hits it deep enough, he could get 2 runs back.
Absolutely. If he hits it as far as Hernandez hit it, well, maybe not even that far. If he just hits it into the far gap, doesn't look like there's that much of a shift on. I think there's a bigger gap between the center fielder and the right fielder versus the center fielder and the left fielder.
This is hit. Will it drop? It will not. It was a very nice catch, able to track that one in the sun. Thought that one might drop, but
it looked
no.
like it. It definitely looked like it from here, but he's able to track that one in the sun and able to get the 3rd out of the inning. So now Christian Heritage goes right back to work.
They were really, really hype about that one.
Oh, absolutely. If I was the Christian Heritage player, I'd definitely be hype about that one too, because you heard the contact.
You think that one's going to drop, and that might be 2 runs going away if that drops, because then you're scrambling for the ball on the ground. Because
exactly.
You're looking directly in the sun when you're looking for that ball. That's a heck of a play.
Right.
Henry Chang takes the mound again. This will be his 4th inning. And he's pitched good so far. I mean, that tying run was not an earned run. Only has 1 earned run. That's not too bad through 4 innings.
Through 4 innings, and especially when you have 7 innings, so that would be through 7
I don't think he's going to pitch all 7.
Well, I meant like compared to 7 innings. So if you have 4 out of 7 innings, and if you pitch 4 out of 7 innings and you only have 1 run, that's not bad. A earned run, that's not bad. And it's a tie game, so he's going to try to keep it that way.
You expect as a pitcher to at least give up 1 run in the amount of innings that you pitch anyway. I mean, I think it's unreasonable to go ahead and say, I'm going to pitch a shutout every game.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's like Garrett Cole. Thank you for ruining my fantasy team the other night. But, Garrett Cole will go ahead and pitch really well one night and another night, and then there'll be 1 game where he gives up about 5 runs. It's just the best pitchers give up runs. That's just what happens, because they run into a lineup that just gets them one night.
Exactly.
So you're bound to give up a run. It's unreasonable to say, you're bad because you gave up a run.
Yeah, that's unreasonable.
That's just part of baseball. But the less runs you give up, the better. And right now, he's only given up 1. That's really good as he went ahead and puts this ball right by him for strike number 1. This one too high. This one hit on the ground and right out of the reach of Buzzy, so they will have a runner on first, the leadoff man aboard in this inning. Good contact to get it right by the
Absolutely.
shift.
Good form, right on the plane of the bat, and he has a beeline to shallow center field for a single. Base hit, and that's really just a textbook style play. Textbook base hit, now he's on base with no outs, and
that one is too high. Another pitch out. He's doing that a lot, and I like that he's so aware, because I do feel at this point it seems like the strategy for Christian Heritage is to steal, but we'll see if that comes back to maybe bite him a little bit, because he's wasting a pitch there. So if he's in a full count, it's because of that pitch out. Right,
exactly. And wasting that pitch sometimes when you're up and you're feeling comfortable, that's fine. But in other times when it's a tightly contested at-bat or a tightly contested game, as this one is, then maybe it's not sometimes it's not the wisest idea to start wasting that pitch and being a little too I don't know what to call it.
Paranoid.
Yeah, maybe.
They're swinging and a miss, strike 2, so he now evens this count at 2-2.
Yeah, it looks like the runner's staying on the bag.
Doesn't look like he is going to steal at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't have a very big lead.
Swing and a miss. Woo. And another ugly swing to go down.
Dirty. Yeah, that was a dirty pitch for an ugly swing.
For sure.
He's had a couple of those, so
it's
kind of
way out in front of that.
right. Yeah.
Way out in front. He'll go down for out number 1, and now with the batter on first, up steps number 15. This one is on the ground. Could this be 2? Over to Buzzy for 1, and he will not throw it to first.
Honestly, I think that's a smart move.
I do. I think that throw would have been a little bit rushed, but they do get the runner on second, so
they get the runner on second, and now it's 1 out. Maybe
it's
2 outs.
It'll be 2 outs here with a runner on first, and up steps number 7, who made almost every single out of last inning after being taken out off the mound. But he'll step up the bat here, and we'll see if he can, as he stops Chang right in the middle of his motion. That's a late call for time.
Yeah, I'm wondering why the umpire called that one.
Long.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of weird when you're in your motion to just stop.
Yeah, it's almost like just slamming on the brakes in the car. You're just like, oh.
This one is up and long ball. Will Roskowski get there? Yes, he will in the sun. And they end this inning, so no runs come across. And although there was some contact and some base hits, some good pitches by Chang, a strikeout, a long fly ball, but was caught, and a ground out to second on a nice pitch. And Chang continues his nice day today with only 1 earned run.
Absolutely, and gets out of that inning. I think that was big. Getting out of the last inning where he gave off 2 runs, and getting out of this one giving off 0. That's huge, and now they can take that confidence and that momentum into their offensive abilities. And really, they don't need any luck or any sort of improvement with the way they've been swinging. I think their contact's been good. Maybe on a couple. I think that the way they've been looking at the balls too, and the way what they've been swinging at and what they haven't been swinging at. I think those are good choices as well. I guess maybe what I'd just say is level out the swing a little bit. That's more of a technical decision more than a choice to make. But when you level out the swing and you kind of hit within a singular plane, you're able to make that kind of solid contact, and that straight contact exactly where you want to aim it if you can aim it. And you're able to hit it into the gap and hit it into space, and you're able to possibly get on base that way. So that's really the only adjustment I'd say for GFA's swinging and their offensive capabilities, but they're kind of rolling on offense, and we'll see what's going to happen here. They're going towards the bottom of the lineup. You have Ali Hood up next and Coachella, and then you go right back to Hernandez or possibly more. So this is the part of the lineup that was able to drive home GFA's second run.
It was.
So
with Hood getting on with it was Hood that
Hood got on with
base with a walk,
hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch rather.
And then
Coachella popping up or struck out. Yes.
Yeah, Coachella struck out.
Hernandez with that nice base hit to go ahead and bring him home from second. So we'll see here what Hood can do.
He was hit by pitch in the last one. The count was 2-2 when he got on base. So it looked like a pretty even matchup between then pitcher number 7 and Ali Hood. So we'll see how number 3 fares against Hood in the bottom of the lineup. Pitched well, I think better than I'd expect given the velocity he has. And we'll see how he's able to fare here. Sorry about that, folks. Just knocking the table a little bit. Batter's warming up. We'll be right back at you in just a few seconds. Stick around.
So Hood will step in here. We'll see if he can get back on base. First time facing this pitcher, as the first pitch of the inning will be taken for a high ball 1. Bottom of the 4th, we've got 3 more innings after this, so still a lot of baseball to be played. This one is tied, and bats have been pretty good so far.
For both sides, yeah. This is a pretty exciting game because it's a decently offensive game. And bats flying for both sides. I think both teams able to get good, solid contact and good hits against both pitchers. So looks like more of an offensive-oriented
That
game.
one was almost like an eephus, but he snags it at the mound. A nice play by the pitcher to get that one. Went right back at him, and that's a scary thing as a pitcher. You see that ball. That's their one fear, is that ball smacked right back at you. But goes ahead and gloves it. And that brings up Kashela after that nice snag on the mound.
That was a very good snag. Great heads-up play. And like you said, it's not easy to make that play. You got to have quick reaction time, and normally your reaction is to veer away from that one. But
as Kashela watches that one go by for strike one. This one swung on and missed, and you think that would be a great pitch to swing on, and I think it was, but it just sunk at the end. A sinker.
yeah,
Wow.
that was a good
That
pitch.
really seemed like that was going to be right over the plate and a meatball, but no. Died. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but wow. There's a swing and a drive. It is fair. This one's going to go as Kashela is going to make his way over to second for a two-bagger with one away.
Wow.
So right when you thought that it might be a strikeout, that's what it certainly looked like to me. It goes ahead and sneaks by that foul line for a two-bagger, and up steps Hernandez. He's been in this situation before, especially with these hitters in front of him too. And we'll see if he can get yet another RBI in a clutch scenario and put the Dragons back on top. As here's the pitch. Yeah. Swing on and put on the ground, and Kashela could be going home. He's stopped. This one he's safe. So another RBI for Hernandez, and he is having quite a day here with 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, and a run scored in clutch situations for Jason Hernandez. And he is having himself a game so far, putting the Dragons up by 1. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth with 1 away, and up steps Andrew Keavney.
Wow. I mean, he's just having a monstrous game, and that's an understatement. First pitch, hits it far, like fair, and gets the base hit, and now he's stealing second.
And he will steal it with ease. So that eliminates the double play and basically assures that Roskowski will come up in this inning with a scorer in scoring position. So I don't think the steal on for third is on. You don't want to risk that, but definitely get him off of second base. Get him off of first base, rather, as this one is high and away. That'll be ball number 2.
So just as we were saying, Hernandez has stepped up in this situation before. I was thinking to myself, it's very hard to repeat that again. It was more of a good circumstances and against a different pitcher. He's able to get it done. And then he gets it done against this pitcher, too. He's just having a fantastic day. 2 RBIs
He's seeing the
and
ball
3 for
so
3.
well in the batter's box.
Absolutely.
He's really giving these pitchers a piece of his mind.
Also, he didn't take that first ball. He didn't take that first pitch.
Not. He swung on.
Bam.
Absolutely.
Hit into shallow left field.
That one is too high. Your count now 3-1, and pitcher walking a dangerous line right now, possibly giving Roskowski 2 batters to work with. He's 1 pitch away from walking Keavney. That one is high, so it will be ball 4, and now the Junkyard Dogs, Mark Roskowski, steps up to bat with 2 runners on and only 1 out. This is a big-time situation, something that you only would have wanted to see in that final inning against Hamden Hall at the end of the game. It was 1 batter away from having this, but this is a big-time opportunity for Roskowski as he will take that one for strike number 1. It's a fine take.
Yeah, I think it's a fine take. It was looked like a strike that just
and it was on the outside
corner.
too, so it's a tough pitch to swing at. We'll see if he'll recollect here as this one is swung on and hit with a drive. This one is going. It drops. It does drop for Roskowski, and he will go to second base. He's racing around for third. Will he get in there? He will, with a bases-clearing triple. 2 RBIs for Roskowski as he puts the bench on their feet. goes ahead and takes a big lead for the Dragons. They're ahead 5-2 off a big, powerful bat, and the Junkyard Dog barks out in the field right there, putting that right over the left fielder. Dropping by the wall, and that is why Roskowski steps up in big situations, and there's a big one right there.
Absolutely. Clutch play, triple exactly when GFA needs it. The only thing better would have been a home run. I mean, that is just a fantastic play.
I thought that
was going to be a home run. Yeah, I could hear it in your voice. You saw it. We saw it going back. Player was going back at the track and wasn't able to get it.
He lost it in the shadows, too.
Yeah. That's difficult when it's a sunny day like this. You have trees in the outfield and towards the fence. You can't get lost in the shadows because the light changes so abruptly. You kind of lose focus because you got adjusted to the light, and now you got to get immediately adjusted to the darkness. And a lot of times you lose it, and it works out well for Roskowski. Gets a triple, and remember, there's only one out in this inning, so...
And we've got a runner on third for the Dragons. This one is swung on, put into the outfield, and Roskowski will have to go back. So no tag. So he'll stay at third. So contact will bring him home if it is on the ground. So smart to not get too aggressive there.
I agree. That was a smart play.
The Dragons are up by 3 now. This is a really great inning for their bats. They're coming alive, putting on some runs on the board, and now it will be, I believe, Florio up to bat. And if it's anybody that can bring runner from third home, it would definitely be Florio. Is this pitch coming and just a little bit too high for ball one?
Absolutely. This is a fantastic situation for GFA to be in. You have Roskowski on third, and then Florio, who can definitely hit it and has a very good eye, kind of like Hernandez. He knows exactly when to swing and when not to swing. And
there's one not to swing as well. It's great eye there, taking what looked to be a strike, but takes this one for a ball. Didn't like it. And he takes this one, goes ahead now 2-0. And he's got this pitcher right where he wants him. We'll see if he makes a mistake. This one is also too low, so 3 straight balls. And this gives him the green light to go ahead and swing away if he likes it just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Although you want to be careful not to swing at something and overextend. But look, this pitcher now desperate for a strike, and we'll see if he tries to pound the zone with a fastball. Swung on, driven up. It is high. I believe this will be a pop-up out. It will. Easy pickings. And that will do it for this inning, but not after some big-time hits by Hernandez.
Absolutely.
And a big-time bases-clearing triple for Roskowski to go ahead and put 2 more runs on the board, and a 3-run bottom of the 4th puts the Dragons up by 3, 5-2. That's a pitching change for the Dragons. Henry Chang's day will end, and he doesn't look like he's going to go out into the field either, as they did have a DH, but a great job, great game pitched by Chang. Only one earned run, kept his composure, had a lot of backwards Ks today too. So overall, look, he didn't walk anybody either.
Yeah,
he only walked
one, and that was a hit by pitch in the foot.
I think he had 1 walk, and he had 1 hit by pitch.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, it was great.
He had a fantastic game. Had some really nice strikeouts on some ugly swings at the.
It made him look silly out there for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah, and he had a fantastic game. That's something he can write home about. Only earned one earned run, and his offense is able to make the most of it by getting 3 back to go up 5-2. So now Christian Heritage is in a little bit of a hole, and we'll see how they're going to play this. I wonder if they're going to try to play the long game, not try to do too much, and see if they can get what the defense is giving them, what the pitcher's giving them, and work from there, or if they're going to try to be aggressive. And there's pros and cons to both strategies, and if you're aggressive, you'll sometimes get the pitch that is hard to hit, but if you can hit it, you can really hit it far. Or if you're too aggressive, then you start to swing at pitches that just aren't there, and you can strike out or fly out. So we'll see how Christian Heritage is going to try to play this, but definitely in a bit of a hole after fantastic inning. Roskowski and Hernandez leading the way, with Roskowski's bases clearing triple, as you said, and Hernandez's RBI, second RBI of the game, to get that inning started once more.
After that inning, who says baseball's boring?
Yeah, you can't. You really can't.
A lot of action in that inning for sure. Definitely doesn't support that case. So the top of the 5th inning will go ahead. Christian Air just find themselves down after a big-time offensive inning for the Dragons in the bottom of the 4th. And they're going to be up the bat 3 more times. They've got this, the 6th, and top of the 7th. So we'll see how this new pitcher fares. And the first pitch will be a high ball, ball 1.
That looked like a very good fastball.
It is.
Just
more
clipping
velocity
the corner.
than Chang, too.
Absolutely.
He's got that pitching style that's just a little bit slower, and that can really confuse people with a changeup and a fastball, as he pumped that fastball right by him for strike 1. It's 1-1.
And absolutely, the change in velocity's got to confuse them because they're used to something with a little less speed, and now he's pitching with a lot more speed and utilizing the fastball a lot more than Chang did. And so batter's got to get used to that and wasn't able to. Swinging late on the last one for the first strike of new pitcher.
That one also in the dirt, so this will be ball 3. 3-1 now. We were just trying to get settled in. That pitch was a little bit too high. First ball looked pretty good, but it was one that went way over his head. As this one will be swung on and popped up. That will be a souvenir for a lucky fan. Into the tennis courts once again. But rest assured, no tennis match on that court either. Although one day I bet there probably will be.
Yeah, and the players got to watch out, make sure that they have good, if it's a doubles court, have good teammates and tell them exactly where that's going to be.
This one is too high for ball 4, but he did work the count full. So runner on first now as the leadoff man is aboard with a leadoff walk. And we'll see if Christian Heritage can respond and kicks and deals. Runner going for second. And he will be safe. And he will get in there with a nice steal. And now they'll have a runner in scoring position at second base. But it was a strike, so he is ahead in the count. Next pitch coming. This one is too high. Count's now full at 1, or even now at 1-1. And here's the pitch. Whoa, strike. Called there for strike 2.
Step toward home plate, don't step back.
And now the Dragons are ahead in the count, 1-2. And we'll see if he goes fastball to try to challenge him here. No, high and off speed. What does the commentator know?
Yep. Wish we had the Tony Romo touch where we could just figure out exactly what the next play is going to be.
Well, I mean, if I say something that kind of sounds right, it'll eventually be right. There's your fastball, high, past ball. This is, the 4th ball that's been too high. And he's been kind of all over the place so far. Hasn't really been able to settle in.
Yeah, I think it might have brought him in too early and from the bullpen,
it's just kind of weird. There's been a lot of high pitches. There's another good eye. He'll walk the second batter of the day, and he'll have to be careful about the steals, as number 9 was able to steal second and then go all the way around to third after the pass ball. Will be a mound visit because already the tying run is at the plate.
Right, and no outs too, so sacrifice fly, sacrifice bunt.
Number 18 is walking with a limp. I mean, I'm not sure if he's hurt or what the deal is.
Ooh.
He is walking with a limp, and he was walking with a limp after the second inning, and they kept him in there. I'm not sure what position he plays.
Yeah, me neither.
But, yeah, he's walking with a limp. They're keeping the pitcher in there. That's good confidence from the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is walking with a limp.
We'll see. I'm not sure. I guess they're keeping him in there. I mean, he's able to put a good amount of pressure on it.
He's able to put pressure on it, so I guess that's something to monitor for the rest of the game. Maybe it was an injury sustained in warm-ups.
Possibly.
big frame, very large strike zone. As there is a strike. See, that would nowhere near a strike.
Yep.
If it was any other player, but 18 is towering over people.
Exactly, and when you're a tall
Wow.
player, one of the few sports in which height is not the biggest advantage is baseball, because you just can't.
That's
I
a
think
pass.
how it walked.
Did they know it hit him?
How it hit him.
It
And
did
so,
hit him. So
bases
loaded here with
No
nobody
outs.
out. This is, oh boy.
This is a jam. This is
Yeah,
a jam
this
for
is
Finn
certainly
Howard.
a jam.
And we'll see how he's going to be able to settle here. Just the balls have been, he just hasn't been able to control the fastball. It's just all have been outside. And we'll see. That conversation didn't really have an effect on him. We'll see if it starts to kick in now. But he's got to watch out.
As there's a nice strike.
So good strike there. Just needs to settle down for a minute. Possibly just take a second to center
It's
himself.
a jam you can get out of, but you got to get out of it with a strikeout and a double play. As this one is put on the ground and looks like a run will score. As this one is on the ground.
Bit of a confusion there.
Yeah, absolutely couldn't get the runner out, so they will get one run back. Dragons still ahead by 2 as it's going to go to 5-3. And with a base open. And so here we go. The batter steps up, and we'll see what Howard can do. Swing and a miss for strike one. And that was
Good
a
pitch.
very unenthusiastic swing if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. That was a very good fastball by Finn Howard right down the center. And number 20, not too happy that he swung at that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. As pitch is out. Not sure why he pitched out. No one's stealing home. That would be very optimistic.
That would be a very gutsy play,
Yeah.
to say the least.
And I'm not sure if you can run someone over in high school baseball either, as that is a very high pitch. As they're having another mound visit, trying to calm him down a little bit. Got to wonder. I do think there is a bullpen is up for the Dragons right now. I do think I see the bullpen up. Yes, bullpen is up.
So possibly thinking about, I think,
It looks like it's Jamilio
yeah.
in the bullpen.
Wonder who would take it over for
Will he
designated hitter.
Yeah, I'm not sure. As that is ball number 3.
Wonder when enough's enough for the manager. When
No, that may be ball number 1 actually. It is a new batter. Wait, no, it can't be. Yeah, no, that's ball number 3. I didn't put it in. That's ball number 3. That's a strike, so he makes this one full. He is one strike away from being one out of getting out of the jam, and
This is a
giving up
big
one run.
strikeout.
Giving up one run wouldn't be too bad, especially if you're able to settle yourself and strike out 2 in a row. That is, they calling a strikeout?
I think so.
What?
Interesting.
That ball was in
Not
the
happy about
dirt.
That. Yeah, that was.
That ball was in the dirt.
Ooh, that was not a great call.
That's awful. It's an awful call. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be the home announcer, but I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was.
How do you miss that one?
Yeah, that was not a great call. Not.
Well,
I mean, I get having a low strike
maybe
zone, but
they
like,
said he swung semi. That's, I mean, wow.
Wow,
That's really helping out.
that really helps out Howard there.
Shoot.
Now he has runners on first and second, but 2 outs, so takes the pressure off.
Maybe
a
they
little
said
bit.
I'm not sure because the fence is in the way, so it obstructs some of the vision. Maybe he did go as that's a good called strike.
That's a very good call strike. Yeah, maybe just barely cross the plane with the bat with a check swing, but I don't know. It's one I'm gonna have to review when I get
It
home.
is. There is a ball. I mean, that either that's a completely blown call or they just swung at, I mean, the blatant ball 4 once it left his hands.
Right.
That's also in the dirt. This one's going to be ball 3. Now there is a base open, so it's not any kind of a massive problem in terms of the scoreboard yet. If he does get him, as there's a strike, makes this count full, and he is one pitch away from getting out of this inning with only one run, and that would be serious time to turn on the Jets. As here is ball 4, so he does walk him. It's going to be bases loaded. We'll have to see if Howitt will stay in the game.
Looks like they're warming up.
It looks like they're warming up Jamilio to come into the game. He was the the designated hitter of this game. And I think that wouldn't be a problem if Jamilio was coming in, because they wouldn't have to change the batting order.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to.
Jamilio would be able to stay in there because he's the designated hitter. Usually the pitcher will hit, but they have a designated hitter in this one. But if they put Jamilio in the game, he would also be the pitcher and the hitter, so that wouldn't screw up anything.
Right.
I was thinking the way that you get out of this is either putting... Well, no, you wouldn't be able to. That's the only thing that they could do to keep the batting order. Saying maybe put Roskowski in there, but he's out in the outfield, and if you put him in there, then you'd have to fill that outfield spot, and that really wouldn't be possible.
Right, so... Makes sense.
With a designated hitter, and you wouldn't be able to do that. If this one pops up, it's passed, and another run will score. Runner makes it to third. And the Dragons now, their lead has been cut from 3-1.
Yikes.
And there's been wild pitches in this inning that have done that.
Yeah, this is not the greatest inning for GFA,
tough.
and they're still up.
Yeah,
But they got to get out of this inning.
They're one pitch away at this point now from getting out of the inning, but they're one pitch away also to keeping the inning alive. This one is popped up and unplayable, so he'll stay alive. But they are one pitch away from either having bases loaded or getting out of the inning with a lead.
Hey, it's 3-1. It's got to be perfect, Jason.
It's three. The count is 3-1, not 3-2 as the set is. There is ball 4. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. This is
They have definitely pitched themselves into a jam, and we'll see if this is where... See, I'm not sure if you can... No, I think you can make the pitching change now, but I mean, this puts the Dragons in a very tough spot here.
Yeah, I think they're...
After that big inning, this is not the way you wanted. I think this will be the end of Howitt's game. And looks like it will be not Jamilio coming in. We'll see. They're making a big substitution. What are they doing?
And they're taking Hernandez out?
They're taking Hernandez. What are they doing? Let's see.
I'm very confused.
Let's see what happens. Maybe Hernandez is coming to pitch and he's throwing some warm-up pitches in the bullpen.
Possibly.
That could be what they're doing, which would be a very big turn of events.
Yeah, it looks like he's
We'll see.
standing in the bullpen, but who knows? I mean, I'm not sure who's coming in to relieve Howitt. It looks like Roskowski's stepping
coming up. Let's
so
see.
Possibly.
Maybe. There's a lot of different options they've got. It will be the Junkyard Dog on the mound to try to do some damage control here with bases loaded. We've got 2 away and a new batter to come up, so he gave his team those big runs, and we'll see if he can save them some runs here. So Roskowski making a big impact in what will be our final broadcast of a baseball game. That's fun to see.
Absolutely. We'll see how he's able to add on to that impact by pitching. And I wonder how this changes up the batting lineup, because they do have the designated hitter, so it's not like Roskowski will be batting.
Now, Roskowski got his nickname in the last broadcast because I said his fastball was meaner than a junkyard dog, and it definitely is. He throws a heater.
Absolutely.
Throws flames, especially when he's on point. Now, he's a pitcher. In the last game, Hamden Hall kind of solved him, and by solved him, I mean got contact because they weren't falling.
Right.
In fact, he didn't have any earned runs. Came into the game when it was 3-2, and it was a missed throw that ended up scoring the runner when he was pitching. That was the only run that he let up. But he didn't really let it up. It was the only run his team let up while he was pitching, because a pass ball run is not an earned run. And we'll see if he's able to pitch them out of a jam, and they certainly are in a jam right now. still have the lead, which is good news, and they have 2 outs. That's good news, but the bad news is 1 hit batter, 1 pass ball, 1 base hit. We could be looking at a whole nother ball game.
Absolutely, and so no pressure for Roskowski, right? I mean, he's definitely in a tight spot here, but nothing he hasn't been in before, and nothing he hasn't gotten out of before. So I think this is where experience really comes in handy, because as the veteran senior on the team, he's been in this situation before.
Yes.
And he's both gotten out of it and hasn't gotten out of it. So he knows exactly how to get out of it, and he knows exactly how you don't get out of it. So we'll see how he's going to decide to play this here. He has the mean fastball. I mean, you can hear it sizzling as it hits the back of the catcher's glove. So I expect to see him utilize
Hernandez
it here.
was not taken out, too. He stays in the game. I was kind of puzzled when I saw what looked to be a substitution for Hernandez. I was like, why would you take the guy who's 3 for 3 with
2 RBIs, a single, a triple,
a run scored, 2 singles, and a triple
out of the game?
Yeah, that would be weird. As there is strike number 1, as you can see the dust coming off the mitt there of a catcher. He blows that one by him for strike 1. Roskowski kicks and deals, throws another heater, but this one's a little bit too high and in. That has to be scary when you see that pitch up and in.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Third pitch coming for this at-bat. Swung on and missed for strike number 2, and he is 1 strike away from getting the strikeout and the end of this nightmare inning, with the lead still intact going into the bottom of the 5th.
And honestly, for GFA, that'd be a win out of this inning, because just the way...
Bang! Swing and a miss!
Bang!
Just smashed that one past him for the strikeout once again. Stepping up in big situations, and he does right there, stranding the bases loaded, and this lead is still intact for the Dragons after 2 swing and misses, and it's a big-time pitching job right there by Roskowski on the mound.
Oh, that
the Dragons
was
take
huge.
this 5-4 lead into the bottom of the 5th, and we'll see if they can add more to this one as they come up the bat. But that is definitely something you want to see, keeping this lead after what looked like it could be going south real quick for the Dragons. And the reason why it went so south is because of the wild pitches. It wasn't hit. That's what I think what makes it disappointing is it wasn't the hits, and it wasn't the fact that the other team solved them. It was just wild pitches, too up, too low.
Right, and walks, and then they were just...
And then some
kept
stolen
walking,
bases.
yeah.
No hits, though. I mean, it's just some passed balls, too. It was a
Yeah, it was
little
basically...
bit of a rough show, but they're able to get out of it. Thanks to that
like 18's
big
coming
inning,
out.
so
He was on first base.
He was. Went probably getting to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Looking like he was having a hard time with the mobility. Looks like a pitching. No, keeping the same pitcher. Keeping the same pitcher. A catcher change?
Looks like it. Or
No,
maybe
18
he
not
keeps coming back on.
He's coming back out. Looks like maybe looks like a glove change.
Maybe.
So we'll see if the Dragons can respond and what they can do.
Just the wind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have a microphone shield.
So apologies if
the wind's blowing a
kind
little
of
bit.
destroying your eardrums through the microphone or headphones or whatever you're wearing to watch this game. Try to secure against that as best we can, but obviously can't stop all of it, so our apologies.
Lots of warm-up pitches for this pitcher. You would have think that he's coming into the game for the first time, but no. Giving him lots of warm-up pitches.
Yeah,
But it was number 3 was pitching, right?
Yeah, it was.
Last inning. So
it was. So
kind of weird that
interesting.
giving him all these warm-up pitches. Maybe they said the inning was too long. No catcher change either. I am baffled.
I'm baffled as well. I think GFA's manager is talking with the umpire, so that might contribute to it.
Possibly.
But who knows?
Here's the first pitch of this inning, and it will be a low strike 1. Got him at the knees. That is such a tough pitch to swing at because you think it's too low, and swinging at low pitches, it's not easy to go ahead and get good contact on that either. That's the perfect location. This one not, though, as it's low. Evens the count at 1-1. Kicks and deals. That one, if that was a little bit more straight and didn't dip, that would have been a meatball that he probably would have shot to the moon. But instead, it died on him and gets him in there for strike number 2. This count now 1-2. Fourth pitch of this one coming at it, and this one is too low. Evens this count at 2-2. They're going at each other right now for this at bat. Put on the ground. Let's see if he'll be able to beat this one out. The throw coming, and it is... Let's see. I think they're saying the runner was obstructed.
Oh.
They say that this that's runner interference, so not only does he get the single, but he gets the go to second base. That is a big-time play.
That is huge.
Let's see. Calling a timeout. What's he doing? Let's see what the umpire's saying. Is he out?
Well, there was a pass ball.
I think he was. I feel like he was tripped at the bag. I feel like he was. Yes, so. Yeah, that's what they're calling it. It is runner interference. So he'll go to second base. But yeah, he was right in the batter's space. He can't be in the base path.
Right, exactly.
So that's a big time play for the Dragons. Now Buzzy steps up. He almost had that big hit last time he was up, but it just was able to fly out. He was able to track it in the sun somehow, and that got the dugout really riled up. And we'll see if we can bring Blazovic home. As he bunts, it was foul, and didn't look like there was any movement. The second base runner either. Interesting decision to go ahead and bunt. That was a nice pitch to swing at, too. I mean, you got good contact on the bunt.
Interesting choice. I think he probably should have swung
I think it was a predetermined bunt by the signs that his coach was giving him, and he's still looking at the signs here. So I think that was just like no matter what the pitch is, your job is to bunt because that's what I'm telling you to do.
That's a coaching decision more than his decision.
Yes. And if you do miss it, then the coach goes, well, I told you to bunt. And he bunts, brings this one down, and he's out at first. Now, first baseman's leg is coming up a lot. I don't think it's intentional, but it is tripping people at first base. It almost got Buzzy, too.
Yeah, and you see Buzzy kind of throw his hands up.
Yeah, he throws his arm up. He said,
frustration.
hey, this guy is tripping me as I'm going by it. Again, it doesn't look like it's intentional, but definitely something to watch. But now the Dragons have only one away, runner at third. And it'll be Hood. Next up is Kashella. As this one is pitched in, it's hit. Will it drop? It will. So the Dragons will get a run back as Hood gets an RBI single to go ahead and extend this lead to 6-4 in the bottom of the fifth. And now the Dragons have a runner at first base and Kashella coming up. And Kashella had that great hit with two strikes.
Absolutely.
Zero balls
barely
that just
passed by the foul
barely
line.
went by the foul line, dribbling by
the white line there, but he's able to get it done.
Great double knock.
Absolutely. And so now GFA getting one of the runs back, so increasing that lead a bit back to 2.
And he tries bunting, and oh man,
Ooh,
that was very
was
close
close.
to really backfiring. I'm not sure what the strategy behind these bunts are. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they're thinking, since this first baseman is sticking out his leg, and the umpire called it.
Right.
Maybe they're saying, well, let's go ahead and see if we can bunt, move the runner up to second, and then if you get called for interference again,
right.
then we have runners at second and third.
Exactly. I think that's a good strategy, and it might be to take
As
some
this
velocity
is
out of
put on the
ball.
ground, this could be 2. It's not going to be 2. As Kashela couldn't quite leg that one out, but up steps, guess who with a runner on second? Jason Hernandez.
Oh,
3
boy.
for 3. I feel like, this is his third time at bat with a runner at second. And if he does if he does this again, I don't
I'm
know
gonna
what
lose
I
my
do.
mind.
I don't know what I'm gonna do if he goes ahead and delivers another
my
RBI and has 4 for 4. This would
And
be
he's
one of the
3 for
this would
3.
be one of the best. He's 3 for 3 right now. Imagine
Yeah.
4 for 4.
4 for 4, but
That
they're
one
walking
is
him.
dipping. You think so?
I think they might be intentionally walking
Well, I
him.
mean,
Just
you
the
think
sign of the-
you bring up Keavney then, who also can hit, although he hasn't had that as good of a
Exactly.
game. I don't think they're intentional.
It looked like from that pitch they might be.
No, I think that's just a dip.
Yeah.
We'll see on this one. No, not walking him. This one is too high, though. And we'll see here. Hernandez has a big-time opportunity once again. We'll see if he can deliver. That would be incredible.
That would be fantastic.
He was 4 for 4 with even more RBIs. This one is too high for ball 3, so this gives him the green light. Has to settle in here, and he can really swing at a pitch if he wants to.
Absolutely.
Any pitch that he likes.
And he has a
Now,
very good eye in this game, especially.
does.
He's been figuring these pitches out.
And this could be They call that a strike. Wow. One just dipped at the last minute. Tough pitch to. I can't swing at that one. Can't argue with the take there. That's tough.
You cannot. That was just a fantastic breaking ball.
Just broke in the last minute. There's the kick and the deal. Swung on and fouled this one back. So the pitcher has now worked this count to 3-2 after throwing 3 straight balls and what could have been ball 4, but called by the umpire a strike. And now a full count to Hernandez and his perfect record so far on the line right now and with a batter at second. That one on in the dirt. And this one, he's safe. So runner at first and third on the stolen base. Hood steals, and Keavney will come up here with, 2 away, but runners on the corners. And the eye on the prize with that man on third base. It just takes a
Absolutely.
base hit, and they can go ahead and get yet another run back and take their 3-run lead right back, which would be a very nice response.
Absolutely.
A nice
That'd be
way to pick up Howitt on the backside, saying, "Hey, man, bro, we got you."
Exactly. Good pickup for him, and just saying, like, it doesn't matter in the end.
Boy, that was a great pitch because it looks
very good
very
pitch.
high and it dips right at the last moment, and you can't swing it that late.
No, you can't.
And it was a slow ball, but you can't swing it that late. You have to make your mind up, and wait on that. And he thought that was going to continue being high, and it just dipped. Good pitch there. Here's the kick and the deal. Too high. So that's the pitch he thought he was going to get in that first one. He laid off that one too high. And evens this count here at 1-1.
Like you were saying about Keavney bringing home that runner, it would definitely be a confidence booster to Howitt because he's probably not feeling very great about almost losing that lead, but if they're able to get it back in this inning, definitely a great confidence booster, kind of like, we got your back.
And this one's ball 3. Scoreboard not up here, but am I right in ball 3?
I think it might be ball 2.
A ball 2? Is it ball 2? I thought it was ball 3. No. The scoreboard says ball 1. I don't think that's right.
I don't think ball 1's right.
And he has that one for...
That
okay,
was
obviously
ball 3.
it was not ball 3, as he took a ball there. So it's ball... Now it's ball...
I think it's ball 3 now.
It has to be ball 3 now, unless the scoreboard's right and it's ball 2. Oh, let's count. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the pitch. swung on, popped up, and this should do it. Unless they lose it in the sun, and they will not. So, no, they do!
Oh.
I cannot believe it. They did lose it in the sun. I spoke way too soon.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you kidding me? That scores the run from third, and they'll take the 3-run lead back. What?
Oh, wow. That's
I
a
spoke too
classic
soon. I
announcer jinx.
I just said, I don't think they'll lose it in the sun. I said, this one will do it unless they lose it in the sun, and they won't, and it dropped. And look who's up with 2 people out. Mark Roskowski, who ended the inning, and now sees that 3-run lead back as he steps back on the mound, and we'll see if he can cause more damage. Swung on and hit with a drive. This one's going. It is over the wall.
Gone!
It's gone! Santa Maria! He's hit a home run and they struck again. Unbelievable. This one is out of here. It's gone the way of the dinosaurs. It's gone.
Sayonara.
Woo! For a big-time home run, we thought and we hoped we'd see one on a GSBN broadcast, and we did.
Wow.
Oh, boy. And a big-time lead now for the Dragons as they take a 9-4 lead. Mark Roskowski, the valiant senior, stepping up and delivering what should be the game of his career right now.
Wow.
Big-time plays coming from all over, especially the mound, and he's gone ahead and had a great game so far. He tries to go to see if he can continue this game from the pitcher's mound. He's done all he can on offense, delivering. That is a 3-run shot.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's 10-4. And that was a slow pitch, too. Definitely something I thought he'd mash out of the yard, and he went ahead and did it.
Thought
that
oh
ball,
my
delayed
goodness.
reaction was because I thought that ball bounced and then was a ground rule double for a second.
I thought that one too, but it looks like it's out.
Yeah, it went out of here.
Wow.
And it left the yard. We were talking about how far this yard is, but I guess not far enough to keep that one out. That's one to get us excited for sure.
Absolutely.
It's one of those plays where you wish you had the air raid siren and the little celebration music. We don't have that. We do not have that technology yet.
But we were talking about how crazy we'd go.
As this one has popped up, we'll see if it's another error. He does get it. And this inning will end. But not before 5 runs crossed for the Dragons.
Runs.
That is a lift up for Finn Howard if you've ever seen one. He
Absolutely.
can't feel too bad about himself now. His teammates had his back.
Especially Roskowski, the junkyard dog, biting again with a home run scored.
Junkyard dog protects his yard.
Absolutely.
By going yard. Takes
Oh
that
my
one way over the
goodness.
fence, and that's going to be a memory that us GSBN broadcasters keep for a very long time, seeing our
Absolutely.
first home run in our last baseball game.
I mean, what a time to have it. I didn't think we were going to have it in this game,
I
quite
did not
frankly.
think-
Just looking at how far it is, I didn't think it was going to happen.
But as soon as I saw that come off his bat, I said, "This is gonna go."
Yeah,
I'm
this
looking.
was
I'm
going,
like, "This is
and
gonna
you
go."
could see
And when I saw it bounce, I was and I saw the fence. I'm like, "Well, did this just bounce over the fence? Did this just go? Oh no, it went over."
No, it went over, and then celebration start.
Bang!
Fantastic
Oh,
home
boy.
run, and just a great cherry on top to a fantastic career he's had. I don't know if he's homered in GFA's home in the home park. At least I haven't seen him homer. But we saw him on a GSPN broadcast do it, and that's what matters for us right now. Fantastic play. Something he's got to be all
See if he can
smiles
finish
about.
this game out on the mound too. He's got 2 more innings to work with, as it's not inning number 5, it is inning number 6. So he's got this inning and then the next. He has not pitched a full inning, only went 1 batter in that last one with bases loaded. You can really see that he's the jack of all trades out there. But the offensive explosion in the bottom of the 5th inning for GFA has lit this game on fire. And they're up by 6. You thought a 3-run lead was pretty good. How about a 6?
How about double?
And how about after losing or almost losing your 3-run lead, giving up 2 runs, you go ahead and respond by putting up a 5 spot
Oh my goodness.
in that inning, and you go ahead and double what that lead was before that nightmare inning.
it's just
Big time stuff.
Big time offensive stuff. And this is exactly what GFA was missing in a lot of their other games, just unable to get the bats flying. Well, how does 10 runs sound for you, for offensive fans on watching at home? And definitely fantastic offensive game. And Mark Roskowski putting a bow on top with a homer on his first homer, the GSPN broadcast, first homer we've seen. And what a great way to see and what a great thing to see in our final GSPN game
and again,
of baseball.
Just goes to show, who says baseball is not fun and that it's boring? That was not boring. That
Absolutely
was a lot
not.
of fun.
Absolutely
Yeah, we told
not.
you we'd make baseball broadcast fun, and although we weren't the people making the hits, we were people making the calls, so hopefully we made it a little bit interesting for you.
It's up to you. If it's there, go for it.
But nothing like a big homer in high school
Absolutely.
baseball to go ahead and
Absolutely
rile somebody
nothing
up.
like that. Yep.
That was hit a long way. The sound off the bat, too, just
Crisp
boy.
sound, skin on metal.
That one is hit up. It's popped up, and it's popped up very high, calling it off, and Hernandez is there for out number 1. So leadoff man pops up, and there seems to be a lot of Roskowski's balls. If it's not a strikeout, it is a contact, but a fly ball. Doesn't get a lot of ground balls,
Right.
and that's just the aggressive pitching style. You try to blow one by somebody, and they just miss it. It's going to be popped up. You're going to get a little bit under it.
Right. I think that's a good strategy, too, because I wouldn't say it's easier to get the pop out than the ground out, but there's a lot of more moving parts in a ground out, and there's a lot more opportunities for an error to happen, pass ball, something like that. But a pop out, you have one person handling it, and they may mishandle it, but chances are, if it's not too sunny, there's not, all things being considered, they may be able to
Swing
get
and a
it.
miss. Pump that fastball right by him for strike number 2. Got him looking on a high fastball and then went ahead and blew that one by. And he is one more strike away from getting yet another strikeout and putting 2 away in this one. Just outside, and the catcher couldn't handle it. This will be ball 1.
So I tried to frame it a little bit, but unable to handle it there.
Too low, ball 2. That one was bouncing it in the dirt. Got away from him a little bit. And it hit the catcher in the mask. Eisenson probably not very happy. He got gonged
Probably a
in the
little
head.
bit, yeah, probably a little bit rattled
But
there.
he is very happy that he does have that cage in front of his face.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen the YouTube video of that of a ball getting lodged in the catcher's face mask.
That's
One
gotta
of
be
the
scary.
craziest
to see
things
it and
ever.
Then,
He calls a low strike, but that's called, and that's 2 away of this another strikeout for number 4 out there on the mound.
Go, Gavin. Swing it back.
And he is 1 batter away from a 1-2-3 inning.
Load early, Gavin.
First pitch coming. That one's a nice strike. And another fast, high velocity fastball.
absolutely. Fastball exactly where he wants, and he has such great command of it. And the speed, too. Oof. Blows right by you, and he's going to try another one there.
It's too high.
A little too high on that one.
Ball 1.
But when he has command of it and when he's able to put it exactly where he wants it, look out. That's going to blow right past you.
I think that home run just blew things wide open. A 3-run ball game,
Swing it back,
much different than a 6-run ball game.
Right.
It's a different in mentality, a difference in when you just look up on the board, you see instead of 7-4, 10-4. As that is an unenthusiastic strike 3, and Roskowski has yet another perfect inning. He's struck out 3 through 1 1/3. Wow. That's
he's
3.
on
That
fire.
is 3 and 4 batters.
3 strikeouts and 4 batters. That's a very good pitching outing, if
Yeah.
I'd say so. I mean, that is just, he's locked in offensively, obviously with the home run, and then
Yeah, and he's only
locked in
pitched-
defensively too.
It's
And
like, wow.
now you got the bottom of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th.
GFA can, I don't know if they need any more runs to really close this one out,
the
but
more
like,
you get, the
yeah,
better
exactly.
it is. And we'll see if they keep Roskowski out there, or if they bring a closer in. I mean, he's only pitched 1, like I said, 1 1/3 innings, so it's not like he's really gassed out there.
yeah, I don't think he's gassed. I think think they might keep him out there for the top
maybe.
of the 7th.
Absolutely. I mean, that's when you're up by, especially when you're up by 6. I think this may be their last game of the year too.
Yeah,
and,
and he's a senior. Might as well
when you're
give
up
him
by,
some chance
I don't
to
think
play.
you have. I don't think many seniors have the opportunity, senior pitchers anyway, to only have pitched 1 1/3 inning in your. At least I think. I could be wrong. They could have one more away game. I know they have nothing on our schedule.
They have one more away game at King, and it's actually 2 more away games because it's a doubleheader.
Yeah,
this is the last home
game. So if you want to go ahead and finish out your last home game as a senior, the only senior on the team too, so it'd be nice to get that nod. If not, well, he's done quite a lot in this game, and I'd say a home run, and a three-run homer, one batter away from a grand slam.
Absolutely.
On that home run. So a 3-run home run is definitely you'll take that.
Absolutely. Great kind of cherry on top to a game and to your performance in the game, kind of the defining moment, the piece de resistance, and to a great career too. And in our last home game that we're broadcasting of his, and he makes that kind of mark on GSPN. See what I did there? But definitely a fantastic way to close things out.
That's why you're going to Yale, Isaac.
Yeah, exactly. The puns coming in clutch in my application.
Absolutely.
But he's definitely had a fantastic game and really great career too. And this is just one kind of data point to that, and really a great cherry on top.
So still more warm-up. I don't know what the big
deal
is with the
is.
warm-up pitches, because they're just taking an excruciating amount of time to start their half of the inning. But now we're set. Keeping the pitcher in here for what will more than likely be the last defensive inning for Christian Heritage. As this one is taken, it's ball 1. Yeah, I would be surprised if the Dragons had to go to bat in the 7th inning.
I'd be very surprised. You never know. You can never say.
It's a 6-run game, but I mean, anything can happen, especially if they take the pitcher out.
Absolutely.
If they take Roszkowski off the mound,
and then things start to go haywire,
and bring in another pitcher, you can't put him back on. So it could be interesting. But then again, coaches have their strategy. I'm not a coach. They have their ways of doing things.
Absolutely. So we'll see what the strategy is, but I'd be very surprised.
As this one is knocked up, and I believe this one is going to be a foul ball. Yes, it is. Very close to hitting the line, but a little bit too far to say it was extremely close. So
yeah. Good contact.
A long foul. Yeah, it was a long foul ball, and if that was fair, maybe it would have had a shot of blooping down.
I think so. I mean, he wasn't able, number 14 in the outfield, wasn't able to get like his left hand out there to catch it with the mitt.
I believe it was 14 that made that big catch in the sun in his eyes.
Yeah, so he's definitely a fantastic.
And the sun is back in the left field after taking a little bit of a break.
It's all patchy in the left field, too.
This one is swung on and driven, and foul ball.
Falling into the softball.
Long foul ball.
Absolutely.
For Florio. One of the longest foul balls I think I've seen on a high school baseball field too. That was pretty long.
You got to be wondering if you had the post out there to indicate when it goes fair.
Yeah, that was a pitch that I thought he definitely swing on, and Florio has himself another base hit. Oh, again, another great at bat for Florio. He's got another hit on the board. And here's Blazovic. There's Blazovic. My bad. Now, he reached on a runner interference last time he was up. And he was able to make it to second base, as he has to giddy up around that one.
Interesting that he didn't. I guess he didn't really want to take that pitch to the ankles. I don't blame him.
I wouldn't want to either, to be honest with you, because a hit in the ankle is. I'd take that in the thigh, or I'd take that in the hip. I don't want to take that in my ankle. That's tough. There's another pitch outside, so this count will go ahead and be 2-0. The 2-0. Swung on, put on the ground. Could this be 2? It looks like it might. He slides to try to avoid the double play, and it worked. Nice heads-up play by Florio to go ahead and distract the thrower, the second baseman. And there will now be one away, and Blazovic will go ahead and move up to first. Up steps Ryan Buzzy. Buzzy has had some great contact today. We'll see if we can get one to fall. Kick and deal, first pitch, and this one is too high. Definitely a different story than first game I did with you with Hamden Hall. Bats were kind of dormant. This time the bats are red hot, writing some really good innings.
Absolutely, and that was what was missing in the Hamden Hall game. That they just weren't swinging at the pitches that they looked like they wanted to swing at.
This is why we were thinking with 3 runs down, or with 2 runs down, Roskowski coming up with bases loaded would have been a complete game changer.
That would have been a game changer.
This one is in the dirt. This one's going to be ball 3. The count is 3-0.
Absolutely. Considering the game he's had with the home run and a third base, a triple. I mean,
and with that pitcher, that the closing pitcher did not do a very good job.
Right,
so
yeah.
When you go ahead and throw that into the equation too, and it didn't take him out until late. As Buzzy will walk on 4 straight balls. And one away, but runners at first and second. And it's going to be, let's see. Yeah, will be Hood coming up. Saying Alley Hood, this is Mo Hood, so I apologize for that mistake. This one is swung on. Will it drop? It will. So this one is coming down. Will they get him at second? No. So it will be bases loaded here for Kashella, and he had that ripper down the left foul line. And we'll see if he can replicate that here with the bases loaded. Not that the Dragons really need any more runs, but the more you have,
the more the better.
The more your win is going to be solidified. So
absolutely.
Go ahead and score as many as you'd like. Now, a strikeout wouldn't be horrifying.
They do have one out, so
they do have one out, and bases loaded with Jason Hernandez up doesn't seem like too bad of a scenario.
Absolutely. Honestly, that's a very good scenario.
As this one is in the dirt. I think an even better scenario, other than a hit, would be a walking home a run.
Right, and walk home
a run. You went ahead and did your job. That's an RBI for Kashella.
Right.
Everybody's happy. But, of course, he's looking for a hit, and you want to see a hit for sure.
And especially towards the end of the game, this is a lot of times where you get those underclass. I mean, he's a junior, but you get those non-seniors. You get those players who maybe in the bottom of the lineup or haven't gotten a lot of time to play, get some opportunity to get into the game and start to see what they can do. And the coach can start to see how they perform in these late game situations and in different situations as well when you have a comfortable lead as they do.
This one is too high, and thought about throwing it back to third, but I don't think that would have done anything. They changed their third baseman. It was originally number 20 at third base, but now number 5 stepped in. He did that a little bit ago, just noticing that now, though, just on the broadcast purposes, as this one is swung on and driven. Wow, what a snag! And it's not a double play. He missed it. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He missed. Oh, man, he missed that throw. How do you miss it?
That is tough.
So that is an RBI for Kashella, technically. Jason Hernandez will pop up in here. The Dragons get one more run. There's a base open now for Hernandez, so it's not bases loaded. The Dragons will now take a 7-run lead.
With 2 outs.
Yeah, with 2 outs now, and Hernandez steps up. He is 3 for 4. So close to being perfect.
I mean, yeah.
But can't ask for, it's like, oh, no, you had an awful game. You didn't go perfect.
Absolutely. Far from an awful game. 3 for 4.
Oh, thought that would be 4 for 5 on that pitch.
Oh, man.
I saw his eyes light up. He goes, oh, this is it. And, it kind of was. He just missed it a little bit. If it was just a little bit lower,
that would have been gone.
Probably would have been a home run, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, the way he was hitting it and the high fastball just
It
out of
wasn't
the
even a
strike
foul.
zone.
It was a high meatball is what that was. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was. Get this pitcher out of here. There is another pitch, rocketed, and right over the glove. So Hernandez will race to second, clearing the bases, and he will stand up. And that will be 2 more runs for the Dragons here.
On a booming double, RBI
Right
double.
over the
I
glove.
mean,
and that
that's
center
his third
fielder,
RBI.
that center fielder is very tall, and that ball had to be
Yeah.
up there in order to get over him. Now it's 13-4 with a 2-run double. Hernandez enthusiastically throws his guards over to the dugout. It's 13-4, and the Dragons have turned on the Jets here. I mean, I can pretty safely say I don't think with the way that these innings are going that, and if Roskowski stays in the game too, which I think he is, I really don't think that Christian Heritage is going to score 9 runs in the final inning. I mean, if they did, that would be a comeback for the ages. And I wouldn't know what to say, honestly.
I mean, that would be a
Then
fantastic
again,
game.
there have been stranger things, like
Stranger things have
when they
happened, yeah.
watched that ball in the sun, which I'm still completely confused about. I'm like, oh, there's no way. It's a routine fly ball, and they just dropped it.
Yep. And I think it's like, I don't even know if it's a classic case of announcer jinx.
That
It's
ball
just that,
sunk harder than the Titanic out in center field.
absolutely just
Yeah, I was just
Dropped
completely
it.
confused. As this one is on the ground, we'll see if he's able to get. Is he going to beat it out? Oh, it's a missed throw again.
oh,
So Christian Heritage, well, again, missed basically error
I
home
think-
another run. That will be 14-4, a 10-run game, or what are they calling that? What
I think that might be.
are they mercied?
They might be mercy.
I think that might be it. I think they just mercied them, going up by 10. Let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, the fist bumps are flying a bit. And I think that's it. I think that's the end.
14-4 is a hefty score. And I think that'll just about do it as the teams go ahead. Story of the game. I mean, it's so tough to pick between the stars of the game. You got Roskowski, went ahead and just played an unbelievable game. I think you got to give it to him, but props to Hernandez with just an absolutely amazing game. It's been those two going ahead, and Henry Chang pitching a great
First
one
yeah.
earned run.
One earned run in 5 innings, I
5
think?
innings,
Yeah.
yes. One earned run in 5 innings. They had that one bad inning in the middle. Not much, or no, one earned run in 4 innings because the 5th inning was the tough one. And then Roskowski went ahead, saved the day, went ahead and hit a 3-run shot along with all the other RBIs. Oh my goodness, that was a fun game to watch.
Absolutely.
On offense, scoring 14 runs in total and a mercy rule in what's going to be our final baseball game as a GSBN broadcaster. It feels kind of interesting here, but
Absolutely.
I am so happy to have finished on that note.
This
to
is
see a home run.
Oh man, that's
and
what we were hoping for.
To see a home run in our final game. That is wonderful timing.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we were hoping
And
for.
I told Mark Roskowski before the game. I said, "Hey man, are you going to hit a dinger?" And he goes, "You can't tell me." I said, "No, you can't tell me to hit a dinger. I can't. Like if I try to hit a dinger, I'm not going to hit one." He did. He did. He went ahead and did it for me. So
Exactly.
that was awesome to see. This was such a fun game to watch, and just great job on offense. The hitting was coming. The pitching was great, except for 1 inning. But I mean, even then they didn't lose their lead.
Exactly, they were able to get out of the jam.
And as a whole,
from
just
Mark Roskowski and
great game all around. Great offensive game. They had some great, just overall great plays and some interesting plays on defense for Christian Heritage too. The few drop balls, many missed throws, and it's just only fitting that the game ended on a missed throw because it's just that seemed to be the story of the game. Some meaningless errors that go ahead and bite them.
Yeah,
some missed balls, and
agree.
we thought that might come ahead and be a problem for GFA, especially in that one bad inning. But they didn't let it bother them. They picked up their young pitcher out there on the mound in the next inning and put a 5 spot on the scoreboard. That has to make you feel a lot better about a tough outing.
absolutely.
And as a whole, the GFA is going to win this one by 10, scoring 14 runs. I mean, 14 runs is a lot, and it's my opinion that I think they probably would have scored more if Mercy didn't go down.
I think so,
I mean,
yeah.
they had all the momentum, and it just didn't seem like the pitchers were throwing anything with gas.
Yeah, GFA was able to tee off on those pitches, and we saw it with Roskowski's homer. We saw it with Hernandez's, I think it was a double for Hernandez, and who knows what could have happened as later down the lineup as you get into the heart. I mean, they had 2 outs, but the inning was far from over. And
and that Keavney steal not coming back to bite them like we thought it would, because they went ahead and won this game by 10 runs.
Absolutely.
Not much you can say about that one. Well, this was so much fun to watch, and that homer is going to stick with me for a very, very long time.
Absolutely. I'm going to bookmark it in the video and make sure I remember that for a long time. That was fun calling with you, Charles.
Well, that'll do it for our baseball broadcast for our career. And Isaac, we've got one more game left before we call it a career here at GFA with GSPN. We hope that we can go ahead and pass the torch off when we're done. We're going to send out some emails. And folks, if you're listening, any students out there who currently attend Queens Farms Academy, we are not going to be around forever. In fact, we're only going to be around for one more game. So we're looking for somebody to go ahead and pass this off to. I know a lot of people are kind of intimidated to have the microphone and all the equipment, but look, it's so much fun if you just give it a shot. Let us know. Email me or Isaac. You can
email the GSPN email too.
Yeah, email the GSPN email too. Go approach Miss Butterfield. Talk to anybody. Any way you're comfortable doing it. And we're just here to help. We'll walk you through a lot of the questions and stuff you have. But it's a lot of fun. Don't get intimidated by the microphone. All we're doing is we're 2 guys goofing around talking about sports.
That's the best way to put it. Yep.
That's really that's it. I mean,
we're
just having fun out here. It's not pressure. You're not competing with anybody. You're just talking about sports. And if that's something you like to do, GSPN's for you.
Absolutely. We just 2 guys coming out on Saturdays and Wednesdays, and really anytime there's a sports game, any sort of game in the winter, or even soccer in the fall if you're up for that too. Now that we are hardwired outside, you can really do whatever sport. And if you're interested and passionate about communications, or just talking about sports and love to talk about sports with your friends and just kind of do this, you're welcome to do it. So just shoot us an email, stop us in the hallway, stop Miss Butterfield in the hallway, just talk to anyone, and we'll be happy to help. We'd love
Mr. Agbo in the hallway
Mr.
too.
Agbo, anyone, if you're interested in videography, sports casting, really, if just you're a sports fan as well, come stop us by and we'll show you the ropes of this whole enterprise, whole 100%. Shindig.
It's not as hard as you might think it is.
Nope, it's really fun.
It's definitely a lot of fun. It's been one of my favorite things I've been a part of here at GFA for sure. And you get a lot of props from the players. You get to know them a bit. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of props from the coach. You get a lot of props from the parents, although we don't do it for that. It's just a little, it makes us feel good. You're making someone's day by including the game, allowing grandparents and people who are out of state to go ahead and watch these games, and it's just something fun to give back to the GFA community. And so if you're interested, please let us know. But for now, we will have one more game. Don't miss it. It's going to be on Saturday, and it's going to be the boys against King for the championship game.
Oh boy, get excited.
Both of them are bitter rivals. I mean, we hate King.
Bitter rivals.
Much.
Wow.
And on top of that, both of them are undefeated in the FAAs. So the winner takes all for this one lacrosse match. It's going to be physical, it's going to be fiery, and it's going to be intense. I cannot wait to call this one, because
I'm
both
already
teams
jumping out
are
of my
red
seat.
hot on offense. And you see an offensive game in lacrosse, that's going to be a lot of fun. But
Absolutely.
for now, stay tuned until Saturday. This has been Charles Cohen and Isaac Moskowitz, and this has been so much fun to call. A lot of great action in this baseball game. It's a fitting way to end our baseball commentating careers. So from everyone at the GSBN crew, we say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on Sunday for one last ride. Until then, signing off.